Hey gamers, welcome back to a brand new DSP video. We're going to be watching the podcast and we're going to watch a little gameplay stuff, and it may get a little political. There you go, you got a little alert right there, but hopefully this should be a safe, fun video. If it's not, it's not. If it is, it is. But whatever. Let's fucking go. We'll deal with whatever, however we do, right?
November, if you can believe it. It doesn't
Can you
feel
believe
like
it?
it, does it? Time is flying. We're almost in the Christmas season. I mean, technically, you can argue.
Jesus, dude. Imagine, like, he's this annoying about Halloween and Thanksgiving and all this. Just imagine when December comes around, December 1st, maybe even like right after Thanksgiving, this dude is gonna like Christmas assault everyone. Like, this is like people who are like saying, dude, there's a war on Christmas, just send them to watch DSP. This dude is like Mr. Christmas. He's just gonna go Christmas like overboard. If you're like saying, man, no one's saying Merry Christmas, watch DSP and sit tight. This guy will fill you up with so much Christmas joy. You'll be begging for happy holidays. You'll be begging. You'll be on your knees saying, please say happy holidays. Because this dude is awful. Just genuinely awful.
This is the Christmas season, but some people say you gotta wait till around, Thanksgiving to really get.
I sure love this dude to like bring up this argument. Well, you can say Christmas is right now. Who? Fucking markets? Stores? This dude is so lame, and this dude used to get so like upset when people played Christmas before Thanksgiving. By the way, he was one of those people too. But now suddenly he's like, well, some people celebrate Christmas now, right? Like, dude, fucking shut up.
Into it. Around here, basically, I'm getting into the vibe, into the mood. Thanksgiving is right around the corner. I cannot wait for Turkey Day with the delicious meal that we have and all the content that I do that week too, because this year is a little different. We got to figure out what I'm doing. Am I going to be streaming on Thanksgiving? And if I do, what should I stream? What about Black Friday? We haven't really even talked.
This dude's streams are literally retail store style. Literally a retail store style. You go to a retail store and they always are like, guys, it's Halloween. Put up spider webs and shit. Okay. Halloween, yippee, and all this shit. Thanksgiving is whatever. Some stores like put up decorations, some don't, whatever. Christmas, this dude is like, if he could, he would. He would probably blast like jingle bells in the background. Like, you'll be listening to Christmas music until your ears bleed. Like, that's the thing I kind of hate the most about DSP's like little backgrounds, is that they're just so generic and like it's stuff you'd see in our retail stores. So it's like really not like personal or anything. He mocks people who have like game backgrounds and this and that, but at the very least, they needed to buy those games, and they probably pick games that they like to be in their background or whatever. Like, there was at least some kind of conscious thought of what they wanted behind them. DSP is just like, oh yeah, I'm a gamer, PlayStation logo. Guys, pixel art, retro, Thanksgiving, turkey. Guys, Vault Boy, I love Fallout, Sonic, because I love Sonic. And The Crown, because I am a king. Like, wow.
Talked about it yet, and it's only a little over 2 weeks away if you're not aware. So the discussion must begin. It's going to be an exciting time of the year, as always,
Black Friday,
right?
why not?
But man, this week coming up now, as a result of everything going on around, it's going to be pretty exciting. So first of all, just to start, if you weren't around the last couple of days, you missed out. I unboxed the PlayStation 5 Pro. I still got the empty box next to me. I'm going to put it in my closet. But
oh man,
this is a pretty exciting event. Not only did I do
this dude, he went from saying this is a waste of money to then saying I love it. Man, as I said, this dude is the poster bitch for sour grapes. That's what people with sour grapes does. When they don't have the thing, they make up reasons why it's okay for them not to have it and how they don't need it. But then once you get the thing, oh, this is amazing. How can I live life without it?
Do a head-to-head comparison of the PS5 Pro versus the original model PS5, but we did a whole bunch of testing, okay? And I want to give you kind of a summary today of how that went. But overall, it was a great day. I had actual increased attendance from what I would usually get. People were excited to see the Pro in action, and we actually got some interesting results to share. So we will talk about that this morning, okay? Good stuff. Then, of course, as a result of that testing, we've got all new content coming up, which I can't wait for. The fact that we all kind of came up during the day with, oh, we should do this, we should do this. It's awesome. So
he came up with Let's Play Bloodborne, you know, a FromSoft game that, okay, you know, obviously, and Dragon Age Veilguard, a new game that someone bought for him. And I love that he always like let it off with like, I'm not promising a full playthrough, this and that, but dude, it's like a new game. Of course you're gonna beat it, unless the game like becomes Black Myth Wukong, right?
I'm gonna be going over the full schedule of the week on this show. It is a very interesting upgraded schedule.
At some point,
now
he's gonna have
with new
to stop
playthroughs
doing
in there
this.
and a brand new show.
At some
That's
point,
right, ladies and gentlemen. Later this week, officially on Thursday night, it is the premiere of DS Politics.
By the way, I love that it has to be Trump. Now, okay, guys, we're gonna go into a Theo theory, a fun little thing. What if one of the reasons, because there's probably plenty of reasons why he didn't feel safe talking about politics if Kamala won, right? Because he apparently says that he feels safe to talk about politics because Trump won. Which, okay, sure. But what if it's because he was terrified that if he had to make a politics video, he would have to put his face on Kamala's head, and that would scare him because it's like I don't want to be on a woman's body. He started to get very insecure and like conscious about it because he can't just like be a normal person. He has to put his face on someone else's body. So since it's Trump and Trump's a dude and he's a dude, he feels safe. He feels comfortable doing that because otherwise, you know, then people might say some stuff if it was Kamala Harris, right? But this dude, like, he definitely created a boogeyman for himself. Like, he thinks, like, let's say Kamala won, right? How would he not feel safe talking about politics? It would be the same shit, honestly. The same volatilities with any candidate in reality. Think about it. Because he would still have to talk about any policies that either president would do. Because guess what? Let's say Kamala won, and Kamala's going to do these, like, you know, these pro-choice decisions, trans decisions, whatever, right? He would still have to talk about that in that regard, and he would have to explain why he thinks that it should be, like, restricted or whatever the fuck. But then it's, like, on the flip side, it's the same thing with Trump, because Trump's probably gonna, like, ban stuff, take rights away, whatever the fuck. You know, he says a lot of shit. And he would have to explain why he either is for it or against. It's the same volatility. And the thing is, like, you know, over time, I kind of, like, learned, hey, you know what, I'm not gonna argue other people's politics because there's no point in like trying to change people's minds, I guess. I mean, I don't know if I would necessarily say that, but it's more like I know what I believe in, what I think should happen, or you know, whatever. I think people should have access to healthcare however they need it, whatever. But I'm not gonna I also just don't want to sit there and just argue about it either to like other people that may not even be interested in the conversation, I guess. Like, you know, it's very like case by case at the most parts, which is why I try to like not participate. I try, keyword try, but you know, I just go by my own politics. You know, I go up by how I live. I die by how I live. You know what I'm saying?
And we'll talk more about that on the show as well.
But that's the thing. DSU's not capable of that because he would go back and forth on anything. Like, again, Last of Us 2 is a perfect example of it because when people are saying that it's a propaganda game, has liberal stuff in it, whatever, DSP could not figure out what side he wanted to be on, because he told one person, yeah, it has liberal propaganda, fuck that. Then a dude would comment saying, Phil, it's not liberal propaganda, it's just a character, man. No, man, the propaganda about the review scores, man, that's what I'm talking about. And then someone says, no, man, like, he just can't, like, pick a side. Like, at some point, you're either just gonna have to walk away and just say, whatever, or pick a lane, I guess. Because, again, like, I'm a pro-choice kind of guy, and if someone keeps explaining, like, all these rationales, like, oh, I believe abortion is murder, we'll say, well, like, look, there should be limits, but there should be access to abortion, because life isn't that easy where you can just kind of make that decision, and sometimes there's not the best of intentions with other people that get involved, all this other stuff. Like, there's a lot of, like, complexities to it, and I think, like, just outright banning or making it hard to get abortion is not really, like, a solid answer, because it's just gonna create more problems, etc., etc. And there should also be exceptions. Like, if people need an abortion for, like, health reasons, like, oh, the mother may die with this unviable fetus, like, they needed an abortion for that kind of situation, or rape, or incest. Like, these are things that are, like, important reasons to have an abortion. So, like, all this stuff, like, there's all this other aspects to it, but DSP would probably not, like, understand, like, hey, maybe pick a lane, pick a value you want to believe in, whatever. He would just tell you what you want to hear, and it's just gonna be nothing. It's really to the point where it doesn't make sense, in my opinion, for him to only stream it on Kick when he's gonna upload clips to YouTube. Like, and then he tells people, I'm not gonna say anything extreme, man. So then why can't you dual stream it on YouTube? Like, he just believes that if he says, like, guys, I love Trump, and I love his idea to put RFK Jr. in the health department, let him go wild with his brainworm. Like, YouTube is probably not going to ban that or remove the video or whatever. They're probably just going to either, at most, they may community note it now, or they'll just be like, okay, whatever. But if he starts saying, guys, we should, like, segregate people and say some, like, ridiculous shit, that's probably what's going to get him in trouble, right? Like, it's so dumb, and I'm already getting ahead of myself, because this is kind of why I wanted to do this video, by the way. So there you go. You're getting a little teaser.
So you know what to expect.
You know what
I
to
actually
expect.
have several topics lined up for that show. Why'd you say my ears? Was that too loud? If that's too loud, I will adjust and lower the volume of that.
But
Sorry,
by the
because
way, why is the politics thing, like, hyped up like a wrestling show? By the way, like, it's so annoying. But I would love to see. I'm gonna also tell you this. This is, like, my little side hope. If Kamala Harris if she won, I think it would have been even funnier to see, like, people like DSP respond to that and that kind of stuff. I was kind of hoping for her to win, but I knew she would lose. Honestly, I knew even if Biden was running, I knew he was gonna lose anyway. Like, I think the Democrats put themselves in a lose-lose situation. So I that's where I sat with that. I was like, yeah, whatever. They're gonna lose anyway. We might as well just go down doing whatever, right?
I thought it was the right volume, but if it's too loud, let me know, please. I don't want to blow out anybody's ears. Anyway, so yeah, good stuff coming up this week. I'm very excited for it. Let's just start right at the beginning. All right, let's get everything set up for the week. I am here.
All right, we're just gonna skip
sitting around on the internet trying to troll them on my day off.
Wait, what?
I can literally walk away.
I thought this was way later.
Of hitting these goals and crushing my trolls.
See how, like, not genuine this sounds now? Every time he talks about hitting the goals, he always has to say, hitting the goals, crushing the trolls. Like, that just sounds so, like, not genuine at all. And it just sounds very corporate. But this dude is a very corporate little piggy. He just has no, like, humanity in him. Just market. Catchphrase, catchphrase, catchphrase. Bark, bark, bark. Clap, clap, clap.
It is continuing. The trolls are so hilarious now.
Serious right now, man. This is the other like nonsense about this, right? This is like so brain dead. This dude probably has a brain room too. Think about it. So he's getting a lot of money, and the trolls are freaking out. But they're also freaking out because there's another Twitter account that is just like saying dumb shit, and people are like, "Hey, this guy is an idiot," and he's like, "Wow, they're freaking out." Like, this is really pathetic.
57 straight streams of hitting these goals and crushing my trolls. It is continuing. The trolls are so hilarious now.
And by the way, this is a dude that brags how he doesn't mention the trolls and he doesn't give them attention and he doesn't want to like talk about them. But every time he talks about money, the trolls are not far behind to bring them up all the time. Because DSP is so cool.
Now, I swear, I can literally walk away from the internet on a day off, come back, open X, and laugh my ass
Who the fuck calls Twitter X? People like DSP, and that says a lot about the people who say X, right?
off at these idiots.
And he thinks this is like a massive own, but it's also like loser behavior. And he doesn't understand that. Like, so this dude talked about how he has a life and he's not a loser, this and that. But this dude, on his day off, is spending time like doing whatever, then coming back on Twitter and looking at people react to a troll account, pretty basically, and calling the other account an idiot. And this dude is like, they're freaking out. Oh my god, man. Like, man, you realize that you're also a loser for doing that, right? Correct?
They actually think, excuse me, I got a frog in my throat today. They actually think that I'm like sitting around on the internet trying to troll them on my day off. I don't think about them on my day off at all.
But he's thinking about them right now. He literally is literally talking about how he got off to seeing his trolls freak out on his day off. That's not thinking about them? Again, DSP is literally the meme. I don't care about this. As he continues to talk about the thing he says he doesn't care about. Like, man, I don't care about DSP, guys. I don't care about him. Now let's watch my 10-hour video about DSP.
Oh, I don't have time for it. I'm busy. I have a fucking life. But they don't. They sit around trying to troll on me on my day off, and now there are people trying to troll the trolls while I'm not even around, and they cannot handle it. It is so funny to see them saying unhinged crap. They're actually
unhinged crap. The unhinged crap is literally just saying this guy's an... And by the way, that account he's talking about is saying... He's also saying unhinged crap too. But DSP is like not addressing that, which is really, really funny, right? Because this dude like still did not understand why people wanted him to ban Derek, right? Because of these flimsy claims of like bad behavior, pedophilia, and this and that, right? Like that, like all that shit. That's what he believes. They're making the same kind of claims, correct? This account, and DSP is not really addressing that or having an opinion on that. But he had an opinion when it was Derek on the receiving end. But since doesn't affect him or his community, well, obviously the trolls are unhinged. Not the account that's making these claims, right? Why isn't he saying that account's making unhinged claims? Oh, because it's mocking people he doesn't like. Oh, that's right.
Like raving and ranting at this Twitter account saying stuff like, oh, on your day off you're doing this, why don't you order DoorDash, and why don't you drink gin, and why don't you get a...
This is like really not that hard to... These are not like deep insults. Like people would say that regardless. Even if this account didn't exist, they were saying, oh, DSP's probably wasting his day off, drinking gin, buying gin, ordering DoorDash, this and that. Like, they know you waste your time anyway, man.
Blood test for your cat. I'm like, what? Like, what are you saying?
The blood test
You're
thing
clinically insane.
Oh, whatever.
The way you're talking and acting. You're yelling at someone who I don't even know who it is, who's trying to get your goat and working because you're so dumb. It's fucking hilarious.
Again, he blankets everyone. Honestly, I just block those accounts because I just don't like the vibe. It's I don't need this. I just want to like just talk about Guilty Gear and Nier and Art and Dizzy and Black Frost and Jolene Cujo from JoJo, uh Jacko from Guilty Gear. Like that's all I want to talk about. And then so I just block him because I don't like bad vibes. They get blocked. You know what I'm saying?
So, yeah. Anyway, just hilarious stuff going on with them. So let's just keep making them go crazy, right? Let's keep.
But this is also like not even related to the goal. Like this is the other thing that was like insane about him talking about this is literally it has nothing to do with the goals. Like factually nothing to do with it. It probably would have happened regardless if he was hitting the goals or not. Like, come on. This is like really stupid. It's so that you can get these little dumbass dents like Iron Chef Sakai to just keep hitting the goals. But guys, remember, if this is Neil Druckmann saying, guys, buy Last of Us 2 to crush the trolls, he would say that's terrible and stupid.
Alive. Remember, we have two things going. All right?
I do not give a fuck about food.
If we could keep the streak alive. This week, we got a really good gentlemen. If we hit sadly for be a fun. Remember, we just did
buying all this food to buy Taco Bell. Food that's like what? $5?
Which means let's keep 9. Tomorrow will be 2, so 61. Tuesday.
Wow, look at that ear wiggle.
Friday. I guess I should do the math here to figure out exactly how many streams, right? So today would be 2, so 59. Tomorrow will be 2, so 61.
Dude, I've never seen someone just wiggle their ears.
Tuesday would be 2, so 63. Man. Only one stream on Wednesday, so that's 64. And then 2 on Thursday, so it would be 66. Okay, so the first stream on Friday would be 67. There you go.
Wow,
so with that first stream on Friday, once we hit it, we do it. I'll order right away, and we'll have it during that show. DSP tries it, okay? Thank you for 57 straight streams of support. All right, now, one other thing. We discussed this last week, and I made it official. If we hit the tie of the vest streak, for those who don't remember.
Now, this is what's kind of funny to me. For, like, months, he never mentioned the vest streak, like, at all. Like, when he was like, oh, let's break the goal and this, that, let's break the record. He never mentioned the vest streak, like, ever. I think, if I remember correctly, either someone brought that up to him and then he realized that, or whatever the fuck, and it's like, man, this dude got all that money and he had to be reminded he had that many vest streaks. And guess what, guys? He did probably more for the vest streak than he is for whatever the fuck this is. Like, that's how pathetic this is.
Way back in 2020, something remarkable happened.
Okay, we're not listening to the origin of the vest streak.
Since then, I've never seen that level of support. And it's continuing. So I said to everyone, if we match that, if we hit 276 straight streams of support, I will do a playthrough of Stellar Blade.
Now, that's like $40,000 in total that he's asking for a game. By the time he gets it, will probably be like, what, $10? Like, it's gonna be cheap, regardless. He's gonna make more money to buy a game that's gonna be cheap by the time he gets to it. This dude is such a scammer. And his fans will just do it anyway because, you know, they love wasting their money. They just love giving this dude money. But guys, remember, those titty streamers that get paid by simps, those are evil. Evil people. But again, they're not on stream saying, guys, we need to hit the goal. If I get $1 million, I will bounce my titties. No, they just do it, man. They just do it. But this dude, you want me to bounce my titties? $40K, please. But
The
it's
game
playing a video game that's like cheap and like not even a bad game. This dude is so like, and it's gonna kill me that the thing that I'm gonna hate the most about this is, think about it. He already is not gonna be fair to the game. He's gonna get the game, he's gonna play it, and the whole time he'll be passive aggressive about it. Or he's gonna maybe try to like it or whatever the fuck, clown mode it up, and then he's either gonna say, well, it is what it is, man. And the thing is, like, if it's like a nothing game, like I don't see the big deal, then why doesn't he just play it? He like why does he need to put such a high goal to play a fucking video game? Like, this dude is so, and it's all because, oh, you guys just want to see the goon all over into like FAP and this and that. But you can literally say about any game under the sun. Like, dude, shut up. He played Nier Replicant, by the way. That's a girl in like lingerie. What about that?
that for some bizarre reason, a lot of weird people want to see me play.
And then I love it's weird people. These are people who are giving you money, by the way. Well, I guess he's right to say that they are weird people. I've never seen like such subservient people just willing to give their money for like little to nothing, almost nothing in return, in any aspect of it. They just give it to, like, this dude can literally say that they're stupid and they suck ass, and they'll give him money for that. It is so like interesting, man.
Get it? Because it literally looks to me like Devil May Cry plus Sekiro. It doesn't look that great to me. I just don't understand why people wanted to see me play the game so badly earlier in the year, unless, you know, there's underhanded reasons for it.
Of course, underhanded reason. Already just assuming that people want to see it because they want to see a girl's ass. I mean, it really is honestly the dumbest thing he said, right? All these people are on the internet right now. If they really cared about seeing asses and this and that, it's a Google search away. And this dude is acting as if like they're so starved for sex that they need him to play the game when they could just easily find fucking people fucking on the internet. And it never is once, he never once thinks, maybe it's because the gameplay might be fun. No. So he's gonna play the game like, oh, okay, this game is just like Devil May Cry. That's what I told you guys. And it's just so boring. Because that dude tried to explain it to him, like, why they wanted to see it, and he just kept writing it off. And now these people, like, are helping him con them of more money. It is so funny. I've never, like, this is the other thing I've never seen before. People helping a con artist con them. Like, Phil, if you want to con me of money, do this. Okay, I'll do it. Wow, he's doing it, guys. Let's give him money.
But I will do it. But we gotta hit it. 276. If you want to see the gift that keeps on giving, the Stellar Blade playthrough, you've got to support the streams, and let's keep that going, my friends. All right? So, thank you. We already, as you can see.
You know the thing that's like really funny about this is, if it becomes a drama around it by the time he plays it, I could kind of see him say, well, I was gonna play it anyway. I just did it that way because it's funny. I was just fooling around. And then like, or you know what? It's gonna be oh man, this may be another like whale con, where the whales will hit the goals to get him to play it, then they'll stop supporting him when he plays it, so he can brag about how he knew that only people who goon wanted the game. Man, it's either gonna be that or is it make even more money playing it? It's like a win-win for Phil, because if he gets a lot of money to play the game, hey man, he made a lot of money. If he doesn't get paid for it, he can brag about how he knew the game was nothing and how he's right and we're stupid and only trolls want him to play the game. And also the thing is, if he's gonna say the trolls want him to play Stellar Blade, right? Isn't this him monetizing the hate and monetizing the trolls? The thing that he said, you know, that he said was bad and evil and stupid and grift and scummy? Man, this. Why am I just thinking that this dude is a liar and a scumbag? I wonder why.
We already have support rolling in, and we're just beginning. Let's do some shout outs. So roughly worth around $3. The way to our goal on this stream goal, whether it's a super
We're just gonna like skip
simply by looking at the description of the stream or using the tips command.
Okay.
Today, thank you in advance to anyone who does. I really appreciate
Now,
all of
you know what? I want to say, I'm bringing this up as well. Another fun little fact here. When DSP was doing the vest streak, right? He stopped doing the shill segments. And he said he stopped doing it because he was making a lot of money. And he didn't need to do it. This dude is hitting the goals that are actually like inflated from the vest goal, by the way, because it went from $100 to $150, and he's still telling us how to give him money.
of you who are keeping the momentum alive. Remember, your support has improved my life so much in the last 3 months. I've been able to massively upgrade my setup, right? I've afforded all kinds of upgrades and things so that we could do more here on stream. I was able to actually get a washer dryer because mine was dying, and the new ones I got are amazing.
Why hasn't he spent the money on a PC yet? Oh no, he's waiting for Black Friday. Oh, but why couldn't he wait for Black Friday deal for the washer dryer? Huh?
I was able to start taking a few extra days off to spend time with my wife, which has been outstanding to have time to spend with her when I usually don't, right? So all these good things are happening as a result of you and your support. Thank you so very much, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Please, let's keep it rolling, all right?
Let's keep it rolling.
All right.
Oh my god, dude, you know what? These claps, I want to chop off his hands at this point. It is getting, like, this I could deal with. This one, okay, fine. But now he does this. Like, Jesus Christ, man, cut off your hands.
By the way, let's see some support over on Kick, right? Let's get some going over there.
Let's see some
since We already
support.
got some on the YouTube side.
Yeah,
Good
man.
stuff, right?
Good
Okay.
stuff. Give me money.
So,
Wiggle my
let
ear.
us begin, shall we? So, first thing I would like to do today.
By the
I
way,
would
this is Sunday, right? So he had his day off Thursday and Saturday. Why? And I thought so. He said Thursday was the day off to play with Kat, to hang out with her. So then, presumably, Saturday was the grocery day. Doesn't he usually shave for that? Why didn't he shave? Dude, I'm freaking out. He's making so much money. I'm thinking about this. Even though he tells us in autistic fucking detail about his days off, that naturally you're going to be thinking about dumb stuff because he brings it up.
To talk about my coverage of the PS5 Pro and summarize it. So you guys can know in general what I thought about the console after spending all of Friday with it.
All right,
And then we're going to talk about the schedule.
Okay, we don't need to hear the schedule for the schedule. Jesus,
on
man.
Friday, I fully covered the launch of the PlayStation 5 Pro as it had arrived during the day on Thursday, luckily, because I was nervous it wasn't going to arrive in time, but it did. I was like, oh, this is perfect.
Oh, man, he kept fear-mongering that, and it's like, dude, you could look at the tracking to see if it requires a signature. And if it doesn't say it requires one, they're just gonna drop it off and leave it. And guess what? There was no problems. Shocker, I know. And also, it may also shock you to know, they're two humans. Kat and DSP. If DSP needed to go to Costco for whatever fucking reason, right? He can just leave Kat at home to sign for the package if it shows up. This dude, like, honestly, this dude really, really makes you want to think Kat is a helpless idiot that needs guidance in life. But guess what? She has a job, unlike him. So, what does that say about him, man? Think about that. Think about that.
Perfect. So now we can have a whole day of coverage of it, right? So I live unboxed it, and it was pretty easy to unbox. The packaging was pretty, easy to do. It wasn't.
It's easy to unbox it. I don't know. I vaguely remember there was one time he was like,
How do I get this out? There you go, man.
But it's a box that's designed for you to take it out. Like it would be really silly if they made it hard.
Wasn't some big pain in the butt or anything like that. It was great. In fact, the unboxing is the most viewed video of all the coverage I did, which is silly. I mean, all the coverage got decent views, but the unboxing getting the most is kind of silly. I guess people just wanted.
This dude, go back to when like the PS5 and the Xbox Series X were brand new consoles. This dude acted as if unboxing the console was like a huge event that gives him a lot of money that he needs to do for his business. And now he's doing this.
It's kind of silly people watch me unbox stuff, man.
Fucking dude, come on.
To see what it looked like. And so after unboxing it, I compared it with the size and form factor of the baseline PS5. It is much smaller and more compact. It's easy to hold with one hand, while the base PS5 is like chunky ass. It's hard to move around because of its weight. The PS5
Oh my
Pro
God,
is
dude,
much
like,
lighter and is easier to just
whatever.
kind of move around because it is thinner. Admittedly, I'll always admit when I'm wrong. At first, I thought the racing stripes that they put on this
The
thing,
racing stripes.
okay, were
Man,
kind of
this
silly
dude.
because I don't think they serve a purpose. But I was wrong. They serve two purposes. The first purpose is that's where you put the feet. So when you actually are putting this thing down horizontal on a flat surface, the feet stick out of the race.
You know, this dude, I swear he said that the stand that it came with is for vertical and you had to buy the stand for horizontally. I'm like, it's obvious he got it backwards. It's the other way around. He doesn't know what words mean sometimes. He forgets, guys. Gout fucks your brain too, I guess.
Racing stripe. So it kind of does have like utility.
I mean,
Number
you don't really
two,
need the stripe
it
for
actually
that,
looks
though.
good. I actually think
Whatever.
the PS5 Pro does
So-
look better than
So first off, right, he says it's the holder, which is like the dumbest thing you could say. The base PS5 does have a racing stripe, and I'm able to put it on the fucking stand that came with it. Secondly, he said that who cares if how it looks with the stripe on it. And now he's saying it's good that it has two functionalities, to hold it and it looks nice. Two things that are like the dumbest things you can say. Again, this dude was shitting on it because he wasn't getting it and he couldn't afford it and he didn't want it. So he had to like cope by him not getting it, which is like really pathetic for a 40-million-year-old dude to go around coming up with reasons not to own something and trying to make himself feel good to not buy it. Yeah, man, I don't need the PS5 Pro. It's stupid. This is that. Like, I don't need it. My PS5 turns on just fine. Like, okay, dude.
the baseline PS5. That racing stripe adds some aesthetic appeal to it. And I didn't think it would at first. I was making fun of it, but then when I
He mocked it for it having an aesthetic appeal. He said, "Who cares?" Now he loves it because guess what? He has it.
actually unboxed it, I was like, oh, all right. Admittedly, I think I'm wrong here. It looks
Again, shocker. This dude's entire opinion is all based off what he can and can't get. He does have a gaming PC. Gaming PCs are stupid and console is the future. Gets a gaming PC. Guys, gaming is the future on PC. Wow, gaming PCs are fun. Like, who is gonna listen to this dude talk about anything? Everything that he doesn't have sucks, but when he gets it, hey man, it's actually kind of cool.
kind of spiffy. I mean, comparing the two side by side, the PS5 baseline is just this chunky, like, abomination. It looks like it was a mutated console that was like heat warped or something. This thing actually looks like it's intentionally designed to look that way, right?
What does that mean? They're both designed into shut
So
up.
after the unboxing, we hooked it all up. Minor technical issues. Number one, with my network, I need to restart my modem and everything in order to get stuff to show up on my network properly. So I had to do that. But number two, at first it wasn't working with my capture setup. Well, I should have known the PS5 and PS5 Pro by default have HDCP enabled. That's high definition copyright protection.
I don't think that's what it stands for.
The reason they have this
or
on
whatever.
is in case you're watching like a Blu-ray movie.
A
That way you
Blu-ray
can't
movie.
copy.
I love that he's saying that you're watching a Blu-ray movie, not just like you may be watching media on it because you realize that like it's on by default in all models, even without the disk drive, like the one he just had, because you could download Amazon Prime on your fucking device, you know? Whatever.
The movie, like you can't record it or anything. But you can disable it, and then everything will work but Blu-rays. Like you can't play a Blu-ray on there with it off. So I had to go in there manually, do the quick setup, turn off the HDCP, and then boot it up. The good news is, this is awesome. If you have the PlayStation app on your phone,
get this,
okay?
Right? By the way, he mocked this feature when he was doing it. He said it was stupid. Same with the Xbox. It is stupid. They give you a QR code. Now it's super cool and interactive and fun. This dude, he's such a boomer. I don't get thing. It's stupid and bad. Oh, this how it works? Wow. It really is like you grow up not smoking weed and you think it's evil and stupid. You smoke one joint. Wow, this is what weed is? Whoa! And then you're like really annoying about it. And it's like, then you grow up and realize, hey man, weed is weed. But that's DSP in his 40s, by the way.
You can sync the app with the console by scanning a QR code. And that just sets your console up automatically. You don't have to do, I have to get, what's my PlayStation Network shit again? How do you log in and this and that? No, it just carries over
Man, it's
all
not
of
even
your
that hard to
settings.
do.
So that's
Even the original way is not even that hard. You could just go to your computer, look up your password, like it saves all that shit. Dude, it's so easy. And but this dude is such a boomer. He can't remember his own passwords. Does he even save his passwords to his keychain? This dude is such a boomer. And he's not even born in the 50s. But this dude acts like a boomer with technology. It is like so fascinating to see this dude like interact with technology, and it's like, and you legit forget this dude is not a boomer, but he acts like one so much.
really good. It was like express setup for me. I'm like, oh, this is excellent. You know, this saved me a ton of time to do that. So after getting into the console, getting it initially set up, we jumped into my games library and decided to download quite a few different games to test. Okay, so there were two major things I wanted to test with the PS5 Pro. Number one, can I play games at 4K resolution, 60 frames per second? And could I enable the fancy features like ray tracing? Okay, because the whole point of the Pro is that you're supposed to be able to now play these games at the highest resolution but a decent frame rate. With the baseline PS5, you could play in 4K, but a lot of games were choppy, okay, like 30 frames or less. Well, people don't want to just play at 30 frames or less. They want to play at the best, right? And, you know, my gaming PC is a beast. I played games at the, you know, high resolution 60 frames. I know it can handle it. I usually play at 1080p 120 frames because I really like
So why
the
do you
extra
need
frame
the
rate.
4K
But,
then?
in the case
Like
of
whatever,
PS5
okay.
Pro, this is really the first
Sure.
time you'd be able to do that high-end kind of stuff on a console. So that was testing number one. The other thing I wanted to test is that the Pro has a PS4 resolution boost mode.
Okay, I do not give a fuck about
Breaking.
this.
Like, it's kind of a negative form where people want better frame rate. However, I have a couple shout-outs to do. Let's get to 94 cents. My segment here, telling you about these experiences I had with it, results, and then we'll summarize. Another good question. We'll get to all of this.
Okay.
Then we'll talk about the schedule. Fair enough?
Fair
okay.
enough. Clap, clap, clap.
Okay, so continuing on. We tested all these Sony exclusive games, right? So we tested Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. We tested God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West. What else did we test? We tested like 4 or 5. Oh, Spider-Man 2, right? And maybe one more. And in each situation, all right, what we realized is when we boot these games up, they all had a new mode in the graphical setting.
Whoa.
And some had multiple new modes. Now, sometimes it was very easy to figure out. Like, for example, with God of War, you just simply enable the new mode. You're at 4K, 60 frames. The game
Man,
is
these snaps are
absolutely
annoying
gorgeous.
too.
Like, I booted
But
up
I've
and
always
Kratos
hated
had
them.
like this crazy armor on from the end of the game. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh my lord, that looks amazing. You know,
Oh,
super
man, this-
detailed because it's 4K and all this.
Man, this dude shat on people for being graphic whores, by the way. And look at this dude. He saw Kratos' armor have a little shine to it, and he was like fucking stroking it. He was like, oh my god, dude, it glistens.
Glistening effects. And then you just start moving and playing, and you're like, what the? Like, it's
What
full
the-
60. Smooth as hell.
Whoa.
Beautiful. We're going through the snow. We're on the dog sled. We're going through the snow, and the snow in 4K. Wow. It
Wow.
looks amazing, right? Some games, for example, Spider-Man 2 had a ton of different modes. And it kind of confused me because there were 3, all right? One mode said it was going to use absolutely everything on the PS5 to try to get you to 60 frames while still in 4K,
Okay.
but also ray tracing enabled. But then there were 2 other modes that were like, so we're going to at most go for like 30 or 40 frames. And you play them and listen, they look nice. But like, why do I want to play it? I just spent $700
These modes are for
on a new
all-
console.
For
I don't want
every-
to play games at
PlayStation
30
5
frames
though.
per second.
Like, dude,
like-
this is like for other consoles though. Like, you're going through a graphic settings that are designed for other consoles with the PS5 Pro. Like, not all those modes were new. Whatever.
How
okay.
stupid can you be?
How
You
stupid
spent
can
an
you be?
insane amount of money. If you spent a little more, you actually could have got a real gaming rig. Why are you going to be playing games at 30 frames per second? So I don't even know why the modes exist. I'm just being frank here. I don't get it.
I'm being frank.
Why do those
guys.
modes even exist in the game? I don't know. You want 60, right?
You want it. What if I don't?
But admittedly,
Human eye
when I
can't see
put it
60
onto
guys,
the,
okay?
the performance, give me 60 frames mode,
This-
the game was gorgeous, and it's full ray tracing. So you're swinging through the city, and you can see the entire side of the building is
Whoa.
fully reflective with its glass
Wow.
to everything behind you.
What about the
Like,
Mary
oh
Jane
my
missions?
gosh, this is so sick.
she has the
It's
gun,
just
and
sick
she's like,
looking.
bing, bing,
Like,
bing.
wow.
She's like, oh, fuck
So
this, and she
pretty
does
much
like a revolver
every
trick.
single PS5 game that I tested had a new mode, and it would run at 4K 60 frames. So no complaints for me. It looked gorgeous, in my opinion. Like, that's great. Now, as good as on PC, you know, first of all, how would you even know?
How would he
Because
know?
some of these games aren't on PC yet. Right? Like, I think Spider-Man 2 isn't even ported to PC yet. So this is obviously the best way you're ever going to be able to play that game. For other games like God of War and Horizon, they were ported. And I'm sure if you already have a top-of-the-line PC,
Why-
you could max out all the
Why didn't he
settings and it's
test
going to
that
be better.
on the
right?
PC?
But
he
man,
has the PC, right?
that,
Correct?
you know, for what it was sick. Now,
Oh, now
no
it's
games
sick.
offered any other kind of
Man.
crazy resolution options or anything like that. I know people have said, what about 8K and stuff? I don't have an 8K TV. Who does? Who the hell has an 8K display, right? So it's not like I could have tested anything like that. The box,
Yeah,
the
whatever.
box literally says 4K 120 HDR. It doesn't mention 8K this time.
Man, remember when you got so mad when the PS5 mentioned 8K, and then it's like,
It doesn't do 8K.
okay.
4K 120,
Tap,
no
tap,
games
tap.
offered it. So I don't know if it's just a game selection at this point. If
Oh
any
my
game
God,
eventually
dude.
will offer 4K.
Dude, when he moves his eyebrow, his ear wiggled too. I don't know why. I don't know why that. It's just.
120, but none of the games that I tested
noticed.
offered that. It was only
it's
60.
wild. These.
FYI.
I've never noticed his ear
So
wiggle
basically, every
this
PS5
much.
game that I played looked
Like,
great.
ever.
The only complaints I had, for example, I was
What
playing
happened?
Horizon Forbidden West, and I
Okay,
jumped.
I do not give a fuck about this anymore.
Everything probably loads fine when you're on the ground level, right? Have to do with their ability to clap someone's cheeks. I actually find that incredibly offensive that you would even bring it up like that.
Okay, let's
Cheeks.
listen
Well,
to this
first of
question.
all, let's see here. I've received a $1.10 tip.
The stupid troll tip.
Would I let a black guy named Tyrone clap my cheeks? Well, first of all, what does the color of someone's skin have to do with their ability to clap someone's cheeks? I actually find that incredibly offensive that you would even bring it up like that. Like, if you were just
Man, mocks it, of
to
course.
say, would you let someone clap your cheeks, or would you let a gentleman named Tyrone clap your cheeks? But what you got to say is black. That's
He says this too, by the way. He does the same shit. He mentions the race of people he talks about all the time, and he brings this up to this guy who brings whatever.
just offensive. So I'm not moving forward with my answer to your question. I'm
Fucking
incredibly
shove
offended
your
at this
head in
point.
some bleach, dude.
Okay.
And
So let's
drink it.
continue. So testing the
need to breathe it
PS4.
in.
Okay. Admittedly, I downloaded a bunch of PS4 games, but we didn't have a lot of time. based on what I was doing. So the one major thing that I did to test was Bloodborne. Okay,
All right, I do not give a fuck about Bloodborne.
Bro,
it's fucking, it's fucking
the beginning of the game, and he wears the
Bloodborne?
cloak with the brooch, clarity and sharpness on the looking brick. Okay, so is it going to absolutely change your gameplay experience of playing Bloodborne? Absolutely not. To sharpness, PC just not there yet.
So why
But
is he playing it then?
This is basically like the best version
Whatever.
you can get.
the best version.
You know, it's just a little bit.
Go.
Dragon Age Veilguard. I wanted to end the day with actual gameplay rather than me just testing, right?
Who the fuck's calling?
So I booted up Dragon Age Veilguard, and I played the intro
I
about an
don't know who
hour.
this is.
I got to the part where you're actually controlling your character now outside of the
Picking
intro.
up. You fucking
And I'll
talk
say
to
this.
the voice
It has its special mode. All right, that is supposed to be for PS5 Pro exclusively. It looked great. It was very good graphics. The effects, full 60 frames. Again, at 4K. I was playing at 4K. I wanted to push this thing to its limits. I wasn't going to go 1080p 120 hertz because I wanted to see what it could do at full 4K. It was really good looking, you know. So I enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed the hour intro of Dragon Age Veilguard. And also that's for the game itself. Like the intro seems pretty
Man.
decent. It does seem like in line with what Dragon Age is.
Oh, now it's in line with what Dragon Age is. Oh, before I was like, this is not what Dragon Age is. And this game is woke. You know, they tell you how to apologize. Fucking stupid game. Oh, this is in line with Dragon Age. Oh my God, fucking.
Intro. I don't know if the game will go right off the rails later and I'll hate it, but we gave it a shot and the first hour was pretty good. Okay? So, overall,
it's just
spending
an average
like over
game,
5 hours
honestly.
with this
I
thing
don't think it's good.
on Friday.
I think a lot of people
more
are, like, hyping up
streamlined
the bad
build,
aspects of it.
more definitely better looking
It
on
is
the
what it
eye
is.
than the baseline
It is what it
PS5.
is. What can you
Games now
do?
run at 4K 60 frames on it, and you'll get a slight boost to PS4 games on it. That's pretty much almost unnoticeable, but it is there. I did observe it. Okay.
He observed it, guys.
So now to get back to the question from the tipper earlier, who is it? Wilson. Is this thing worth the price tag if you already own a PS5?
No.
Well, I'll say this.
Oh.
If you are a 4K gamer, if
Oh
you
my
are
God.
into 4K resolution,
Dude,
you have a 4K TV.
Dude, everyone on fucking YouTube on the planet said, "Hey, if you have a PS5, this isn't worth it." And I agree. Like, yeah, you're only gonna get bumped up for frame rate a little bit and resolution, but at that point, you might as well just wait for the PlayStation 6. Like, because if the price is gonna be that much for the Pro, you could probably assume the PlayStation 6 may cost just as much as that. So why spend the money now on just a 0.5 console when you'll probably spend the same amount again for the PlayStation 6? Unless you're going by 0.5 cycles. But I'm just sticking with like the whole generation, so it's like I don't give a fuck about 0.5 consoles like this. I'll just buy the PlayStation 6 if I want it. But of course, CSP has to be like,
Well, if you like 4K, yeah, man.
but I thought not everyone has 4K. Remember he also said that no one would notice the difference between 8K, 4K, and 1080p, but now we'll notice. Okay.
TV and you want the absolute tippy top experience,
Tippy top.
I would say, yeah, if that's what you're looking for. Okay? But I would
Oh,
argue
man, waste your money.
that the vast majority of people who own a PS5 don't even know what quality they play games at. Most people just buy a console, hook it up to their TV, and just play. And it's unoptimized, and they don't even know how to optimize it, right?
Oh my god, dude. Are you stupid? There's like not a lot of optimization you can do to a console. The only like optimization you can really do is very like negligible things for it to work. And all that is determined by if your TV even supports it. Okay.
For those people, they probably won't even ever go into a menu and say, oh, let me enable the PS5 Pro mode in any of the games that they're playing, so they won't even know what's going on, right? If you are a techophile kind of guy or gal, if you want the
Oh my
absolute
God,
best
this
resolution
dude
and you
needs
are
to
playing at
shut
4K
up.
all the time, then probably it's worth it.
No.
But that's like this percent
No.
of the overall.
Again, he keeps doing this, but no. if you're like that into resolution and a technophile and all that stuff, you're getting a gaming PC. I'm sorry, you just are. It makes no sense for technophiles to buy a console to do for that reason. Like that's incredibly stupid. The point of the like, and you know it's funny. DSP knew that, like, kind of said this when he was first a console bitch, that the whole point of a console is just that is a plug and play aspect to it. Like you just plug it in and there you go. You don't really have to like optimize it and this that. Ease of use is the whole allure of consoles and exclusives and this and that. If you're into like optimization and all that stuff, you're getting a gaming PC because you'll always want to like upgrade the parts and this and that. Like it makes no sense for them to go to console. Like it's like I'm a car guy. I'm gonna buy a basic ass bitch minivan. Like, why are you buying a minivan? You love cars, right?
A player base of people who own PS5s, right? If you're looking for a boost to PS4, this is like not worth it at all. It's such a tiny minor difference. I wouldn't even spend $1 on it. Like seriously. It's like, it's the difference between you took a photo and here's your regular photo and you run it through one of those filters to make it look more crisp. Is it really better? I mean, not really. Maybe it's slightly increased, but it's not a big deal, right? I wouldn't spend $1 for that.
Man,
I will tell you this. I made one observation by the end of my session there with it, okay? So while I was playing Dragon Age Veilguard, someone said to me, hey, Phil, I think it was Iron Chef Sakai actually, said, hey, Phil, how is it running? Have you listened? And have you tested the temperature yet?
Yes.
And I said, no, that's a good question.
I love that these people talk to DSP like he's fucking Digital Foundry. Do you test the heat? Like, of course he didn't. He doesn't think about that kind of shit. I mean, I wouldn't either, to be honest. The fan, you could tell just by turning it on. Like, I mean, come on.
So I went over to it and I knelt down and I started listening. It was pretty quiet. Admittedly, like, you know how PS4 infamously sounds like a jet engine? Like you're in a wind tunnel and it's just blasting you?
Whatever.
This wasn't very loud at all. And I was running the game at the time. So it wasn't really doing anything noise-wise, okay? But, dude, I put my hand down next to it and that sucker was hot. Like, I'm not talking, oh, it's like a little bit of warm air was blowing out. No, like, it felt like it was like a heater. Like, you could be sitting next to this to warm up in the winter. That's how hot this thing was running. Now, listen,
So
I
guess you
didn't
can't do
temperature
Vests,
test it. I
man.
didn't temperature test my baseline PS5 either. But when something's running that hot, that makes me feel like, number one, you absolutely need to give this thing big ventilation. And I do. It actually has almost the entire bottom shelf of my entertainment center, and it is opened on every single side around it, open air. So that way it's getting maximum airflow and it's not confining the heat to like a small area, which would probably be disastrous. Okay.
You're a disaster.
So you need to give it aeration. That's number one.
You need aeration.
Number two,
or
it's
die.
like some people game in like cramped rooms and stuff. I could imagine this thing like significantly
Starting
raising
a
the
fire?
ambient temperature of your room by like 15 degrees if you play for a couple of hours. I mean, it was that hot. And I was
Whoa.
like, dang, you know, I can't
Dang.
imagine trying to do this in like a back.
Dang, it was that
You know,
hot?
this is not, oh, I'm just going to buy a PS5 Pro for $700 on a whim, come home.
All right.
Okay. You don't have one at all. And you're going to buy a PS5. You're like, well, I just want the Pro. If you're going to play at 4K, if you have no idea if you're going to be playing at 4K at all, I don't see why you would want a PS5 Pro. I just don't understand it. Like, what would the purpose be? It's not going to even use
for
the better
frame rate.
hardware unless you're playing at 4K. Like
Maybe
right
on
now,
60 frames.
I'm playing games
Uh,
at 120 hertz, 1080p on baseline PS5. I already was. So why do I need the PS5 Pro? The answer is I don't. You know, you only need it if you're going full 4K and you want the 60 frames. All right.
I think he has a lot of dents that will buy him
So,
all these toys he literally doesn't need.
Yeah.
Isn't that
So
fun?
that's the deal. And
Like
I think that
I still think like it can't. I think it's like man, I don't know how to put it because I don't want to say it's like it's understated or whatever the fuck, but it is so wild to me. Dude. Well, I mean, I guess it was even with the gaming PC, but you can at least argue he didn't have a gaming PC, and there's like a reason to have one. So, okay, that at least makes sense, I guess. More so than fucking buying him a PS5 Pro. And that's like $1,000. And he bought it for him. A dude that like is gonna just go and play PC games. Crazy.
You know, for someone who wants the best console available, it is the best console available. But it still doesn't hold a candle to a gaming PC, which I think everyone knew. You get yourself a, you know, a $1,200 to $1,500 gaming PC, the thing's going to be insanely good compared to this thing because it's not going to have these limitations.
I love how we now just openly say that gaming PCs are $1,200 or whatever the fuck, and it's like, dude, he got that money like so many times in the past, and he couldn't buy a gaming PC with that money. I've been thinking about that more and more, and it's like, dude, he acts as if it's like the amount of a gaming PC is like nothing now. But before, if you ask him, you get a gaming PC?
It's so much money, I don't have money to do it. I'll have to, like, sell a titty for this.
But now it's like, oh yeah, man, it's only $1,200. Yeah, man, okay. Like, dude, like, and he made that money, he made that amount, like, every month on Patreon. About. And it's like, and that money never went to fucking buying a PC to game on. That's like food for thought.
Let's be really honest here. This console is going to sell like hotcakes when GTA 6 comes out. Because everyone's going to want the best experience with Grand Theft Auto 6, and it's not going to be on PC at launch. So this is the one way you can play that best version when it's out. And I'll have it now. Thank you so much to the viewer who donated this PS5 Pro, because this is going to open up some horizons for me that weren't possible with just doing the gaming PC route. And I really, really appreciate that. So now let's talk.
Okay,
all right,
man,
because
sure.
as a result of me having a PS5 Pro,
okay,
it's engaging.
I don't care about the schedule.
Reason to play it again, but excited. You're like, ooh, looking Bloodborne run ever. I'm actually gonna. I'm really pumped for it. So let's talk now about the schedule for this week.
Oh man, do not give a fuck about
This week to finish it. If I remember correctly, conclusion. The sun setting.
You know what? Did OP Boo never came back? Man, remember when he used to get someone to like timestamp his fucking podcast? What happened to that? That like went away pretty quickly.
Ended off. His name, Douglas Adams reference, but yeah, it's been a great show. You know, 2 years.
But now what he wants to do is he wants to do the clip show. The clip show is technically not dead if you think about it, because he wants to do it with the political show. So instead of just doing it like on DSP Reacts, it's now just gonna be on his politics show. So like it's not going away; it's just moving pretty much.
The show has been great, but it's 200 viewers. Seems like focusing on a new effort.
Okay.
On the late stream, it is the premiere of Bloodborne. We will start in a
Okay, do not care about blood.
all been
Bang.
waiting for, exclusively on Kick, DS Politics.
We're doing this again. Man, how many times are we gonna have to see this? That is how you do govern. Man, DSP meet like this had to have been done completely by AI. Or the person is on an English speaker, because that is how you do govern is something you'd see from AI probably. And I love that politics is like the American flag, because obviously America is the only place where politics exists, right?
So let's talk about it, because now I've
Why do you have
officially,
Street Fighter music for that? Whatever.
scheduled it, and I want everyone to obviously be excited for this. All right,
not
so how's
excited
this
for
going to
it.
work?
How's it going?
First of all, the show will be around 7 p.m. Pacific time on Thursday night. It'll only be streamed on my Kick channel DSP Gaming Real.
Why?
So if you're interested in this brand new effort and
He's
endeavor,
not saying anything
please
extreme,
be
right?
sure to go,
So why
follow
is
the
it
channel
only on Kick?
over on Kick.
Hmm.
It's gonna, you have to follow to talk in the chat. So please do. All right. Now it's only gonna be on Kick, and I'm curious with a show that I'm streaming exclusively on Kick how it'll do. Right now, my audience is majorly split between Kick and YouTube, and I can tell you right now, the YouTube audience is much bigger than Kick. For example, right now I have over 260 viewers on YouTube. I mean, the audience still
I
seems to
don't
prefer
care
to
about
stay on YouTube.
The fucking audience.
In this case, it's a Kick exclusive show. Since it's politics, I want to keep it off DSP Gaming and out of my gaming content whatsoever. You won't hear these kind of topics discussed on this channel, right? So if you have absolutely
Why does
no
he
desire to
co-stream
talk
with
about politics
the
at all,
D3X
you can
channel?
just not show up,
Whatever.
and you're good. It won't
No.
spill. I'm telling you right now.
I like how he says it won't spill and all this stuff, but the thing is that let's say that I'd have a political channel. I talk about all my liberal beliefs, my evil liberal beliefs. But if someone watches that, then they're gonna see me on Twitter. They're gonna see me on this channel, and they're gonna say, "I can't believe this Theo guy. He thinks that like everyone should have health care. Does he not know how taxes are gonna go up? And isn't that stupid?" Like, I mean, that's just gonna carry over regardless. It is what it is. It can't really be helped sometimes. So, like, let's say that he goes on his old podcast channel. He talks about trans rights, or he talks about abortion, or whatever. People are gonna remember that, and then you say like, "Fuck this guy. I don't want to watch this guy," or they'll say, "Hell yeah" to this guy. Whatever. But like, people are gonna think about that because it affects them, because they're spreading like information to people who are gonna use that information to vote or to like act in real life or whatever. And he keeps acting as if like him saying like the intent of the person who's uploading the video may vary channel to channel, and obviously I think it's safe to assume DC's not gonna intend any ill will to making this content, but if he's not willing to educate on the topics he's going to be talking about in any meaningful way, it can look pretty disastrous for him. Just on a grander level, because there's a lot of people that may not understand fully about a lot of the topics he may talk about or may not even talk about. And honestly, I doubt he's even going to talk about like anything regarding the trans community. Like, is he going to talk about the if Trump's gonna, or if or when Trump will reinstate the ban on transgender people in the army? Is he going to talk about that? Probably not. Is he going to talk about the abortion rights? Probably not. Why would he talk about that? Why would he talk about half the stuff that people may be interested to know when he has no interest in that? You know what I'm saying?
The content will not spill into the other content that I'm doing. You're not going to see political content.
He doesn't understand when people say, "Oh, don't talk about politics, don't seep into your content," or whatever. Is that you just don't want to talk about it, because then that's what people are going to bring up. They're going to say, "This guy believes this or that," and that's all that people are going to bring up, especially for a guy like Phil. Like, a dude like Phil has a lot of trolls, and you're gonna have like concerned trolls that are gonna like pretend to be interested in the discussion, and they'll either pretend to be offended, or they'll get people who are genuinely offended, or whatever. Like, it's gonna be interesting to see what's gonna happen. I think what he's gonna try to do is try to do a lot of fence setting when it comes to stuff. Like, I understand why this party wants that and this party wants this, but to me, like, the thing that kind of pissed me off last week when he first announced this, by the way, was the fucking pendulum swinging bullshit. Because a lot of the stuff that happened with the last election with Trump winning is that a lot of people are afraid of the policy switching that is gonna affect people that with these changes, because Trump is gonna probably reinstate the ban on transgenders in the army, which is like a lot of people are upset about, because like these people want to join the army, and if they ban them, they're not going to be able to fight for their country, right? Like, these are things that people are going to be talking about, and he's going to sit and he brings that up as like it's a cultural shift. Oh, it's one way or the other way, but these are like rights that people like want to fight for and protect, because they believe in these things. And to say it's like a pendulum swing and it's like, oh, this, that, like it's too far this way, it's like, dude, like, you're talking about other people's rights. Like, that's like saying, well, we enslaved black people back in like the olden days in the Civil War era. Now it's time to enslave the white people. The pendulum has swung, right? But that's not what, like, that's, see how silly that sounds? Like, the pendulum swinging, like, it makes sense on a cultural, like, media level, uh, in discussions, even though I think that's also kind of silly, but that at least has more sense than talking about politics that affect everyday lives. Like, go talk to someone that's talking about like all these rights in these marginalized communities and tell them about what the fuck is this? What's it verifying? I got a weird pop-up saying verifying. Something must be updating. But all these go to these like civil rights people or whatever, these marginalized communities, and just tell them about the pendulum swinging, and they'll probably look at you with like disgust or like look at you like you're a little slow in the head or confused, I guess.
Content, here
Like,
when I'm
that's
doing
the
my
ki-
podcast. Or
Like
when I'm
that's kind of what pissed me off about that. It's like, if this is his take on non-politics, then this guy needs to go away and not talk
playing
about
games
it.
and stuff, it's going to be saved exclusively for the show. In fact, it makes sense. If anything's happening in politics, save the topic for the show, right? That's the time to discuss it in detail. All right?
All right.
So, that's going to be fun. If you can make it on Kick on Thursday night, it's going to be about 2 hours. Now, what will the topics be that will be discussed? So, I have 3 hot topics to talk about this coming Thursday night. Topic number 1, how did the Democrats manage to lose the 2024 presidential election in the
Dude, I'm probably gonna hate his take, but it's very obvious why they lost. They tried to please a lot of Republicans, which Republicans will never vote Democrat. Like, it's like 5 to 6% of Republicans will go to Democrats, but it's never like a worthwhile percentage. Like, it's really to the point where it's like you're wasting effort, and all it does is it's gonna alienate the voter base that wants to vote for more progressive ideas. Like, they don't like really have a clear vision or even a clear motto to go behind. I think that's like the problem as well. Like, there's a lot of issues with the Democratic Party that even Democratic voters have an issue with, and you see a lot of like people getting radicalized, and I do get why some people are saying it's time to abandon the Democratic Party and this and that. But at the end of the day, it's a meaningless gesture, because come 2028, it's not like there's going to be a magical third party that's going to be able to win. Like, they're all going to have to vote Democrat, or they're going to have another Republican in office at that point. Like, that, it's like, I get the gesture, but it's going to mean nothing in 4 years unless like they oh my god, I can't talk. Manage to like pull off a successful revolt against the current Democratic Party and reform it completely from the ground up, which is like a huge thing to even think about. So that's really why I think they lost. They just didn't have a clear vision, and they didn't really like listen to the voter base that they have or that they want. Like, that's at least my free political take. I just think that they just lacked vision. I don't think it would have been better Biden ran, to be honest. He probably would have lost too. I mean, they were in a losing position. I think Nancy Pelosi, of all people, I know Nancy Pelosi, wow, said like the idea should have been like within 2 years of Biden's presidency, they should have just done a primary election or whatever to get to see who they wanted to run in 2024, instead of just like sticking with Biden for 4 years, then like last minute switching to Kamala Harris. Like, they should have at least done that, but they didn't, because I think Biden decided he wanted to run again in the second term, and which made people like upset, because it's like, a lot of people who voted for Biden are people who are uncommitted, and it's like these are votes that you should not take for granted and not like sneeze at. Like, these are things you have to like think about. And they didn't. It is what it is. But let's see what DSP thinks about that. He's probably gonna say like, "Oh, they went too far on the woke side," and it's like you could honestly argue they're not woke enough. Honestly, like, seriously, if you think like Kamala Harris and Biden are radical leftists, that is like, man, you need to broaden your horizon. That's radical to you. I mean, Liz Cheney, a radical leftist?
States. And I'm going to have some stuff to watch
Ooh,
with you,
boy.
and we're going to react to a few things together, and we're going to talk it out. It's good. It's an interactive show, to make this clear. Yes, I'll be talking about politics and the like, but also there's going to be people who are going to be able to chat with me, and I'm going to be doing shout outs for contributions, and it's going to be an interactive show. So I'm sure many people are going to have different opinions and things to say about this topic, okay?
But you also
So
know
that's
that
number
it's gonna
one.
affect this community as well because they're
Number
probably gonna start
two,
arguing. Like I
um,
remember like back in the day, in my Discord, I had a political channel and I immediately deleted it because it was just like I don't want to deal with this. I just want to talk about games and have a good game, man, have a good time. And then I deleted it and never looked back. Like I can handle it like just talking on my own about it, but like it's just it's a completely different experience to have like to have a community room for politics and seeing what that kind of brings up. And it's like you know what, I think I'm just gonna stick to that in my Discord and all this other stuff. Like if it's something I want to talk about, like that's stuff that is fine. But as I said, like I understand that a lot of people will probably disagree with my viewpoints on stuff, and that's where I leave it at that. Usually it's like, oh, you know, it is what it is. Like, uh, you know, there you go. And there
we're
you
also
go.
going to be doing a topic. Listen to this one.
Listen to this one.
There have been mean text messages that have been getting sent out
Mean text
across the
messages.
country since Donald Trump won the presidential election. And for some reason, actual mainstream news is covering it. I want to show you the mean text messages,
Oh,
and we're going to
man.
analyze them and talk about
At first,
them.
I thought he was talking about this like text message scam that was going around. Like I think there was like this one that was like, oh, click this link to find out where to vote to help the election for Kamala Harris or whatever the fuck. Like it's like some like scam like that. Like that's been going around, and I blocked it because it's like, yeah, this is like a scam. Get this out of here. Get this out of my phone. But then there's but I think I might know what he's talking about, and I don't think that these are like joke like mean. It's but whatever. I guess we'll see Thursday because it's you know the texts that I've seen there are pretty fucked up. But it's like you know it's obviously it's like some kind of troll probably trying to get like attention, but it's still like you know fucked up, right? Correct. But we'll see.
Today,
We'll see
on the show.
What do you mean?
Because yes, they are incredibly politically powered and charged, and I couldn't believe I was seeing this as a story in my local news, and they keep running with it and even adding to the story, and I'm like, what? So you're gonna see, I don't want to spoil the story, I want to save it for
Man.
Thursday, but when you see this, you're gonna be like, what the hell?
What the
And
hell?
then another thing, there's one other thing that we're gonna talk about. I don't even know how to go about this because it makes me my jaw drop. So now they're saying, get this.
Get this.
If you want to do charity, you have to do it in such a specific way to be sure that you're being culturally sensitive.
Now, this out of context, I don't. It just omits a lot of context because. I mean, if you're running a charity and you're like doing blackface, I don't think that's like a cool thing to do, right? Like you wouldn't want to do that naturally. Like, oh, we're gonna like save this Indian tribe or whatever. Then you have like white people dressed up as Indians in blackface and or whatever the fuck and all this other stuff. Like, you wouldn't want to do that, obviously. Like, what does he mean that? Oh, now you're doing it in a cultural sensitive way. Like it depends on the charity. Like, what is the story? Does anyone know? Like, I tried to look this up and I can't find anything about this. Does anyone know what the fuck he's talking about? Like the text message thing, I can kind of like piece together because I think I've seen it on Twitter, like, in passing. But this is news to me, and this sounds like you know, classic DSP. He only reports like half the story, and and it's gonna omit the like glaring context of it.
I won't even go further than that because I want to show you the details of the story, all right? So this is going to be a very interesting show on Thursday night, okay?
But what
I
is
hope
it-
you'll join
whatever.
me exclusively on Kick on DSP Gaming Reel this Thursday, 7 p.m. Pacific time for the first ever episode of D won't be ongoing content anymore of the random clips stuff from my DSP versus the internet show because we're retiring that on Monday. But now every week, you'll see highlights from the DS Politics show on DSP Reacts over the course of the week.
But
Okay.
but then like again, this also brings up the question. If he's gonna upload it on YouTube anyway, why doesn't he just co-stream it on DSP Reacts? Like, the whole point he wanted to do it on Kick in the first place was because he was afraid YouTube was gonna, like, kill him or something. But now he's gonna upload the clips on YouTube anyway. Connect the dots there, Phil.
Okay. I think this is a great way to go about it. That way there will still be content on the channel for the time being. All right. Now,
Alright, clap, clap,
what
clap.
we're going to do, what we're going to do on the show, we're going to discuss ideas of how people who basically support my content will be able to be a part of the show. For example, here's what I'm thinking. If you become a submissions tier member of my DSP Reacts channel, you can have a thread every week where you can submit clips you'd like me to watch and review for the politics show. So you can...
So, again, it's not that DSP versus the internet is like this is like massive cope what he's doing. Think about it, because you can say,
I didn't really edit because the support was that I was doing a politics show and I figured why not combine the shows?
which is like even less. Like the DSP Reacts members are getting less actually. They're paying the same amount and they're losing the member streams. They're losing that, and now they have to wait like everyone else to get the content that they submit for. Like, why?
say, Phil, were you aware of this news story that happened across the country? Can you comment on this current event that happened or this political thing that happened on the show? So this is awesome because this is going to allow you to have interaction. Now, I'm not guaranteeing that I'm going to watch the clip, but I'll review everyone's submissions. I'll try to find the best ones, and I'll put together a show. It won't just kill the channel entirely overnight, all right? But it'll only affect the submissions tier memberships. What we will probably do is the Ultra members may have some input into the upcoming long-form React shows that I'm going to start doing in December.
So
Okay?
So then whatever. Okay, so but do they also get to submit?
So it's a big shift, I know. It's not
Whatever.
clips reacting anymore. We're going to have political stuff every Thursday, and then we're going to have long-form reacting going on at some point. All right?
All right, go.
Pretty good, right? All
Pretty
right.
good, huh?
So I'm excited. I hope you are too. DS Politics premiering on Kick exclusively Thursday night, and then you can see the clips for it over the course of the week on DSP Reacts. And starting next week, after this first show ends, is probably when we'll start. Hey, let's start doing content let's start doing incentive where if you're a member on the DSP Reacts channel, you can now submit clips for the political show. Okay? Fair enough? I think that would be good. Okay. Now,
Okay.
Friday. I'm even here Friday. So I'm here today through Friday, okay? Friday's day stream, maybe Call of Duty, and
All right, let's move on ahead.
as a chill streaming game. I think that would be amazing to have. Okay. And then after that, there's some more games coming
Well,
out.
he's back doing his phone. This is stuff he used to do on Twitch, by the way, where he would just like do something that'd be on his phone. This is like incredibly rude and sloppy. This is shit. By the way, he criticized other streamers for doing, and he does it all the time. Okay, guys. So like, I'm going to be streaming video games, and like video games are fun, right? Like, dude, like, pay attention to your fucking, like, you're talking to us, and he's like looking at his dick.
And we'll talk about those as they come out. And also, of course, as I said, Thanksgiving week, I usually do like a Thanksgiving special. And I also,
All right, do not care about the Thanksgiving special.
like, what the hell?
What?
If everyone was able to be happy, probably people wouldn't be like, it's not me going on Rumble if you want 0 issues because of it should be fun, okay? What's funny is Felix the Maid says you
Felix
can't do
the
legit
Maid.
politics on Kick. You better off streaming on Rumble if you want 0 issues because of terms of service. What exactly is it you think I'm going to be saying? I'm not. Listen, my political show will not be offensive. It's not me going
So then why is it only streamed on Kick then? Why can it also be streamed on YouTube? Why is it only on Kick? Why can't you stream it on DSP Reacts? Again, he's uploading the clips to DSP Reacts. So that's already getting filled with like politics. Why doesn't he co-stream it on DSP Reacts?
on saying, well, by the way, I don't stand for all these things and screw these people and they're all, what? Have you not listened to words that I've said for the last
See, this is the problem though. This dude is so stupid. He's gonna fall into these like very like easy traps for people who don't know. You think this dude understands any of these issues that these marginalized communities bring up about trans rights, like all this stuff like with trans kids or whatever? Like, does he understand any of these ramifications that are involved in all those aspects? Because he could easily just fumble into something that someone's gonna find offensive, and this dude will not be able to like argue it, and then he'll be fucked. Like that's the problem. That's the problem with him. He's not gonna understand because he doesn't research enough. Like the only thing is that he's probably gonna like only talk about certain things he feels comfortable with, which is fine. But at the same time, like what's he gonna talk about? Like again, he's gonna talk about like why the Democrats lost, and it's gonna either be very silly or very boring.
like 16 years that I'm not that kind of person, that I want people to be happy, that I wish that everyone could be happy, because if everyone was able to be happy, probably people wouldn't be at each other's throats and we wouldn't have such a divisive time of our country right now. Like, what exactly do you think I'm going to say
Well, what are you
on
gonna
my
say?
political show? I mean, do I sound like a political extremist to you?
Man.
Like, what the hell, dude?
Well, a lot of people don't see themselves as extremists.
And keep in mind,
but again, this guy sees Mark Hamill as an extremist. By the way, Mark Hamill, like the only extreme thing that you can think of is that he just says Trump is bad, which is like, I've seen people say Kamala is bad. I don't immediately write them off as extremists. It's their actions that I look at to make that kind of claim. But if someone just sits there and says, I don't think Kamala's going to be a good president, then that's how it is. But whatever, okay.
the people who have been doing politics for ages are the ones who got me on Kick in the first place, right? Like, this is not over. Oh, by the way, I'm just making this crazy decision overnight. Kino Casino has been covering.
Dude, he wanted to do a politics channel long before Kino Casino entered his life. He said so at the beginning of the year. And now he's like, Kino Casino got me into this. No, stupid. You did. Again, this is another classic DSP thing to do. Find someone else to say it's their fault why I'm doing this thing, so he can absolve himself of any issue. If the politics channel goes down as the worst thing ever, he's gonna blame his viewers and Kino Casino if it ends up like not working out for him.
Political shit for years on Kick, and they're fine. So what are you talking about? Anyway, all right. So good stuff there, and I hope that you guys are excited for the week. It's going to be a fun week. Still Splinter had done a €2 super chat. Says, what specs is my gaming PC? I think he's seen it because there's a PC command on the YouTube side of things you can use, and it gives you all the specs of my current gaming PC.
Okay, I don't care about your gaming PC.
I'm done with that big segment. Let's get that up to at least tremendously. It helps get to 100 by the end. And I refresh, it'll say $1 tip, right?
Wait.
Biggest super chat too. Let's get a $5 super chat right now. And on Kick, we got nothing. Nothing on Kick right now. Let's get the momentum going. Get it going.
Okay.
Okay. Well, by the way, while we do this, I'm going to put this.
Has to get up and put the box away. Couldn't do it before.
What we're going to do, let's do some open Q&A because people have questions. The whole point is,
wait, what?
Automata says, will there be a tier on React that guarantees your political clip being watched? Currently, no. The whole point is, I want to be talking about.
Okay, I don't care.
People can submit clips. Now we're forced that the whole political show is me watching the clips. Then it's just back to being DSP versus the internet again, right? And that's not the point.
Well, you're already kind of repurposing
That's not the point.
it. for
Okay,
that though,
so
it's kind of the same.
yeah,
So
we don't want to do it
whatever.
that way.
Okay.
Did it fit perfectly? It did. The box fit absolutely perfect.
Okay, does it fit in a closet? Wow.
Call of Duty sounds good. No super real vibes.
I can't believe a box can
Could I
fit
do
in
a
a closet.
presidential tier list based on my knowledge? It would be a pretty short list because I only know about presidents who did things while I was alive. I really am not a
Okay.
presidential scholar.
He didn't
in that
say do
regard.
all presidents. He said do the ones that you know about. But okay, sure, man. Nice
Cool.
reading comprehension.
Uh,
Cool. Man, this
What's
dude
up,
throws
Harry? How
the
you doing
goat
this morning?
laugh like so much.
I don't know anything about anyone named Synthetic Man. To be clear here, the point of the show is not going to be me reacting to other political
Okay.
commentating on stories and the like, okay?
Okay.
All right.
All
We've got
right.
I can't even say how do you pronounce this? Arcadia. Arcadia has gifted a sub over on Kick.
Okay. Cool. Good for them.
Reality, it's like $4.74 or something like that. Much? Side Venus for
Man, I feel like there's something else I want to
almost
talk about.
updated the wrong set. Climbing almost
Okay, come on.
on Friday, right?
Right?
Do you think it'll be a success? How do I know?
How do I know?
And now with the election over with, and the
Oh.
dust
Here we go.
has asked me for this show, correct? It's been like 3-4 years. Will I ever get into politics? Will I
But I
talk about
thought
it?
Kino
And I'm like,
Kasuni got you in,
well,
into
maybe.
politics.
And now with the
Maybe,
election
maybe,
over
maybe.
with, and the dust settling, this is exactly what I told you I would do. I said, let's wait. Let's see how the election goes. Let's wait for the dust to settle. And if it goes a certain way, and I feel like it's safe to actually come out.
If it goes a certain way and I feel safe, this dude is such a little bitch, man. Like I at least like am I'm comfortable enough to talk about my liberal beliefs in my own videos, but this dude needed Trump to be elected for him to feel safe. Like this dude created a boogeyman for himself, where it's like if Kamala like again if Kamala won, was he not gonna do the politics channel because he's afraid Kamala's gonna order a drone strike on his house? Like, guys, if I say something, Kamala's gonna come into my house and kill me, man. She's gonna be like, what do you say, bitch? And then she's gonna like kill him. She's gonna like press an executive order, execute pig. That's what's gonna happen. That is the radical left at it again. They're gonna like police what Phil Burnell and only what Phil Burnell says. Like this dude is insane, man. Like so many people like have criticized Biden and his presidency, and yet DSP didn't feel safe saying Biden is stupid. Like everyone said Biden was stupid. Like everyone, even people who voted for him said he was stupid. And this dude is sitting like I didn't feel safe. Trump is president. I feel safe now because the thing is, at the end of the day, it goes both ways in the sense that he feels safe in the sense that more than one person is gonna hate Trump. So like you can hide behind the masses of people who don't like Trump. That's like one aspect. The other aspect is that he may agree with a lot of like Trump's ideologies and this and that, and since he's probably gonna like not do anything super problematic to him, he can like say, oh man, this dude is whatever or whatever the fuck. But if it was Kamala, she would have these evil progressive policies that he wouldn't want to talk about because then he would be seen in a certain way. Like, man, dude, come on, it goes both ways. As I said, talking about like abortion access, immigration, all these things, either way, people are gonna may have problem with it. Like again, like this morning someone was replying to a tweet that said this guy's an idiot, and I was discussing why pretty much why I'm pro-choice and why like people should have access to abortions, this and that. Now the whole time I didn't want to sit there and just resort to name calling, but this person at least was going on about why they think that like there should be like at least some kind of control over abortion, this and that. And it's like, look, I understand like people who are pro-life, and I understand like why some people think this way, but at the end of the day, like life isn't that like clear cut, and abortion access should be consistent because you can't have the state say one day, oh, this is legal, and then the next day they restrict it even more, and it becomes to the point where they may have to leave the state to get an abortion. That may not be feasible for some people. Like there's a lot of like issues, which is like why I do think that it should be protected. I mean, there's already been limits to when you can get an abortion anyway, as it is, and So like, yeah, of course, you can restrict it to like, hey, up to this point you can't get an abortion. That's fine, but to just either do a blanket ban or to remove exceptions to it are not like feasible or reasonable solutions, and this and that. And that person, to his credit, at least like understood where I was coming from. But that is like not always the case when you're talking about politics, and DSP may not have the temperament to deal with it. That's why I don't like dealing with it a lot in videos or this and that outside of like this, where I feel comfortable. This guy will just say whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Talk about
Oh man.
stuff, then I will, but it's going to be separated from my gameplay content, so that way there's no crossover and no one will be bombarded with
But he
bullshit,
feels safe,
right?
guys, right?
So that's how we're doing it. I mean, this has all been a
like,
systematic
how does
thing.
he feel safe?
It's like, first I dip my toe into the realm of doing crossovers and different topics. Then I start streaming on Kick. Then it's the possibility of starting a new show on Kick. It's a little progressive thing, right? So
Right.
we're moving a little further, a little further, a little further. Now we're going to try. We're going to see what happens. Perhaps the show will go incredibly well, and I'll find a new audience of people who are excited and engaged to hear this kind of content from me. Maybe the show will tank, right?
I hope
If
it does
anything,
tank.
here's the thing. On
Here's the
Kick,
thing.
if you want to qualify for the best levels of monetization, including getting verified and then later on even being offered to be part of their like streamer program, you have to have a certain level of average viewership. The thing is, my viewership is split. I've got a certain group of people who want to keep watching me on YouTube and have, right? So because of that,
I'm telling you, isn't it funny, right? He criticized Craig for going to talking about politics and this and that to get attention and this and that to make a living. And suddenly, DSU wants to do a Kick exclusive stream about politics. In the same breath, he's just talking about how to get like into the partner program on Kick. I'm telling you, this dude wants that ability to just turn on a stream and get paid. He wants that so bad. He wants it so bad. He's like thirsting at the mouth for it. Like if like he is like desperate. I'm convinced if the Kick guy came up to him and said, "Phil, I'll give you that ability if you suck my dick," he'll be on his knees so fast. So fast.
I still got a decent number of people watching me on YouTube every single day. But some have gone over to Kick, and I have a few new viewers on Kick. So it's kind of this weird split. But because of this, I'm not getting enough average viewers on Kick to support me ever getting those higher tiers. I basically am always going to have just the base level tier, and that's it. If I have a show that's dedicated on Kick, that now I can bring in 100, 200 viewers even, right? Like that would be my goal. If I get 200 viewers on the political show, I'd be pretty pleased with myself to know that for a different kind of content that I've never done before,
And
that
then
I'm
he says
getting.
that he doesn't want like the politics show to seep into his other shows. He co-streams on Kick as well. So when the politics viewer base also watch him play games as well, and then they may bring up his political topics in that chat, and then his other chat may not like that or whatever the fuck. Like it, these are all things that may happen. By the way,
Getting a solid audience for it. Okay. So if I
Okay.
get like 200 viewers, I'd be stoked. And we would see, is it viable now? If you get that much viewer, will now my average viewership go up? Will I be able to possibly qualify for these other programs and the like, right?
he wants those other programs
We'll have to
so
see.
bad.
So let's see how it goes right now
He wants it so bad.
and play it by ear. I don't have any super high expectations. I'm not
Okay, let's
go
move
from
on.
there. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Back. I say they. It was just Craig because he brought it back. No one else. Again,
Oh.
I know I keep bringing this up because it's just a good kind of content that I'm willing to tackle and try and see how it works and go from there. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's not like here's the difference, right?
Here's the difference,
With-
right?
Again, I know I keep bringing this up because it's just a good case in point. Take a
good
look
case in
at
point,
side scrollers, right?
Okay, right.
They tried to bring back, I say they, it was just Craig because he brought it back no one else from his original show. He tried to bring back a gaming show and it flopped. Why? Because he's not a gamer. He tried to bring back a pop culture and gaming show with
How does he know he's not a gamer? What? Okay.
no knowledge of games. I mean, why did you think it was going to work? It was idiotic.
Man, okay, right?
So then what
Let's
he did is he
gatekeep
completely
games, I
spun his
guess.
idea into politics, completely right-wing conservative. He did it.
But aren't you doing that? Like, I mean, does he just think that like if you grift politically, it's only a right wing? Like, there's also like left wing grifters too. I just saw like a after people bring up a left wing grifter too. Like, there's people who grift on both sides. Like, it, like people will just call you grifters, man. Think about it.
Did it on purpose because he figured being as extreme as possible would get an audience, and it worked. Gullible people bought into his bullshit, and now he has an audience of thousands of people. Okay. With me, I already have a successful business, right? I'm not failing. I'm not trying to bring something.
No, you have a failing kick channel. Like, he just told us that his kick channel does not bring in a lot of support, and he wants to do this exclusive stream that's politics, by the way, to get a dedicated audience. Like, dude, come on. Come on. Yeah, you're not literally failing, but you're doing it because your kick streams don't get a lot of views, and he just told us he wants to like apply for these higher programs. Again, he wants that fucking pledge where he can get paid by turning on a stream. He wants that so bad. He wants it so bad.
Back and it's failing, so now I have to run towards this topic and banking everything on it. That's not my case at all. I'm kind of the actual opposite, right? Where bring something back and it's failing, so now I have to run towards this topic and banking everything on it. That's not my case at all. I'm kind of the actual opposite, right? Where I already have success, but now people are asking me as I grow up and I get older and more mature to delve into other kinds of content. I've tried reacting. Now I'm trying political. We're trying different things. And we're going to see what works and what doesn't. It doesn't have to work.
This really sounds like those college students who just started talking about politics for the first time. And they just learned, like, guys, did you know that we can vote in elections? And, like, politics, they can do stuff. Wow.
Because I'd be happy to now be known as not only a podcaster and a gameplay streamer, but also having a successful political show. I'd be happy for that. But I don't want it to be my end-all be-all. Like I said, I think doing it like once a week right now is perfect. That way we could save up the interesting topics of the week, talk about all of them in one show, as opposed to, oh, every single day I got to be bringing this up and scraping the bottom of the barrel for content. I don't want to be doing that. This will allow me, especially if you have input, if people are
okay
expectations at all, I would be happy with the diversity right now. Diversifying my content is going to work way better than just doing one style. Okay, I tried the interview thing. I'm going to be
this is great. This is another reason why I want to do a video on this podcast. I'm so glad I didn't rage quit earlier.
Honest, people are pussies.
People are pussies. I try the interview series. This is an interview series. Just keep in mind, he wanted to do the interview series to diversify his content and to talk more about like video games and what it's like to be a content creator, whatever. He hyped his fucking interviews on that premise alone. And now that no one seems to want to do anything, he's just saying this thing, people are pussies. Rich wanted to be on his show, but DSP made it hard for him to go on. And they got mad at Rich for not going on.
They don't want to be interviewed because they're pussies. And for years, they all want
to... And this is a great thing to say for, like, if you're wanting to interview, I don't think it's a good look to just say people are pussies like this. Like, you look very childish. Again, like, getting guests aren't easy. You have to, like, work it out. And it's, whatever. But this dude is, like, he just gives up under any ounce of, like, challenge.
Wanted to punch down on me, but now that people would actually listen to my opinions and my take and allow me to clap back at people.
Now it's about, like, these people who punch down on me, now that I want to, like, clap back, they don't want to deal with me. Phil, I thought the point of these interviews was to talk about them about video games. He said that his interviews weren't about personal attacks, and it wasn't about, like, getting revenge or whatever the fuck, that it was about talking about video games. He said even after the Tolo, he was only interested in doing, like, meaningful interviews about video games. and how suddenly all these guests started to bail on him. Just suddenly. They all decided you don't want to talk about it. And it all started with that VTuber clip. That DSP didn't think was him being mean to the VTuber. You watch the clip, and sure, he wasn't saying, this person's a stupid bitch. But he was sitting there saying, like, instead of just saying, oh man, this person's, like, really loud. I don't know if this is for me, or, like, oh, it's too loud. I don't like how loud it is, or whatever the fuck. He went on a very descriptive, like, criticism about how this person's voice is so loud, it's like nails on a chalkboard. All these things that would be attributed to making fun of someone. But this, like, dude, you're saying your voice is like nails on a chalkboard, but get fucking pissed off when people say you have a seal laugh. My guy, you don't think, you think what you said is not mean, but a seal laugh is. Or that you laugh like ack, ack, ack. And then this dude is saying, well, no one wanted me to clap back. So the whole point of the interview was what everyone knew it was. It wasn't about doing meaningful interviews. It was just you going on an ego boost to get people to say, Phil, you're actually pretty cool. Again, look what happened when Keem said, Phil, I love your content and you're a cool guy. DSP kept rubbing it into everyone's fucking nose. He rubbed everyone's face that Keem said, Phil, you're a cool guy. And this dude is sitting there like, yeah, man, everyone's pussies. So the intention was never about talking about video games or being a content creator. It was just to blow up your fucking ego. That makes it look really cool, man. Wow.
People who've been nasty to me, no people want to be interviewed by me. They're all afraid. So forget that. So we'll do something different.
And all the interviews sucked ass too. Like, all the interviews went back to talking about him. And it's always, well, it's my show, you gotta relate to me, man. Like, who the fuck does that? I've never seen anyone host it. It's like, Barbara Walters, right? She interviews Donald Trump, and she's like, okay, Donald, in my life, I did, like, and she starts asking him to pretty much, she, like, leads Donald Trump to, like, praise her, like, did that ever happen? No. Barbara Walters never did that because she's a fantastic interviewer. Correct?
Okay.
Okay.
Some shout outs. I received 10 gifted subs. The Teb sub animation right here. Let's get you $97 in contributions so far on this stream. Thank you so very much, everybody. His politics sounds spicy from Perry the White. Thank you, Perry, for a generous 20.
Okay, Perry the White has come to save the
He's
day.
making this noise. And then a
What?
sign that I need to get a new PC. All of the fans on this.
Okay.
I'm like, dude, I really got to get a new PC. So I'm really hoping, I'm looking for, fingers crossed, good Black Friday deals or Cyber Monday deals this year. So I can get a new PC because, man, I could use one at this point. This thing, another fan will act up and be. So someone is asking me, what about having Wings of Redemption on for the interview? I did reach out to him again recently. I'm waiting to hear back from him. I haven't heard from him yet. I'll probably have to keep pinging him to get an answer.
Man, I just love he said before, they're pussies and fuck them. I'm still talking to Wings to get on his show. Okay, this dude's so cool.
Sure. I am interested in having him on for an interview. I really am, but I need him to respond. So I guess we'll see, right?
So why are you being a little bitch about it then? Like, why is he being a bitch about people that not wanting to be interviewed?
Pino Hart says one thing that I love about you. You always have a balanced. You're a balanced person.
What?
You're slow to make changes, but you make them when they make sense. Not just.
Oh my god, dude!
If I had jumped.
Shut up.
We have like 4 years where I can ease into this. I can hone my craft. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Wait, what?
branch out as I get older. This game because
Okay.
everyone's playing it for the week, and then no one plays.
Hold
I
up.
don't. If you haven't noticed, I am not the kind of guy that likes to jump on viral trends. I'm not the kind of guy that jumps on memer games, right? Oh, I got.
He jumped on Pal World and then got mad that it wasn't updating as frequently as the PC version. He did hype. He jumps on a lot of like hype games anyway. Okay.
to play this game because everyone's playing it for the week, and then no one plays it again, right?
But then, You know,
right?
whatever. Okay.
I'm not about that. And
He's not about that, but if a game, but when a game comes out and no one's playing it, he won't play it because well, no one's playing it. But then when a game everyone's playing, this is a meme game. Man, okay.
I want to basically branch out as I get older, but at the right times. If I had jumped on the bandwagon of everyone doing political content when it was hot, then people could easily say he's only doing it for that reason. Now you can see
Now this is like stupid. This is incredibly fucking sleazy what he's saying here. Because this dude is pretty much only doing it so he doesn't get accused of doing it for the clicks. Which people but when Starter and Craig started talking about like right wing political grift or just culture war grifting, honestly. What happened that made him do that? He just did it. Like anyone can do it whenever. I mean, it's because video games are always coming out. Like, you know, whatever. He's just now wanting to talk about politics right after a presidential election. That is still kind of like jumping in while the iron's hot because people are still talking about this election and they're gonna keep talking about it ongoing because guess what? It's our politics and things are gonna happen and change over the times and all this stuff. Like I go to Yahoo and I see all these articles talking about like what Donald Trump wants to do day one, about how the Kamala Harris, this one guy says, oh, Biden should resign to give her the presidency, which is like, you know, what kind of like message is that, right? The first female president is gonna be given off by Biden, like that. I mean, nothing speaks more about equality than having another man give a woman a title instead of just letting a woman just get there. But whatever, it's a loaded topic, you know what I'm saying? But so regardless, no matter when he talks about it, it would always be like hot anyway, right? Because guess what? When he gets inaugurated and he starts doing stuff, hey, people are gonna start talking about the stuff he's passing. This is a nonsense thing to say. It's all just a cope that saying, see, I'm doing it because I want to, and not because it's for the monies that are top. That's why I waited so long, which isn't really genuine, and it shows that you care more about what others think of you than you actually caring about what you're doing, right? Because if you really genuinely wanted to care about and talk about politics, it shouldn't matter when he starts. The passion is going to show up by what he's talking about. But in all reality, no one's going to give him the benefit of the doubt because it's fucking DSP.
the election's over. Now we have like 4 years where I can ease into this. I can hone my craft. You know what I'm saying? Like I can get good at it.
But why can you talk about it at the beginning of the year, right? Or whatever the fuck. Talk about the debates and all this stuff, and then ease into it that way. Like, why does it? And then now he's saying, I'm gonna start doing it. It's gonna ease into it, but it's gonna still be once a week anyway. It's gonna be the same shit for 4 years. Like what's he talking about?
At it now, and hopefully do something that's a little different from what everyone else is doing, and it could be a good show that people enjoy.
How is it different when he's doing what everyone else is doing? And you know for a fact, right? If someone says that his politics show sucks ass or it's stupid or whatever, you say, "Well, other people do it. You know, they do. Why aren't they bad? But I do it. And I'm the villain." So it doesn't matter. He's gonna hide by that anyway. This dude is so fucking lame.
For my audience, and hopefully we get more. I would love to get some of the viewers from Casino who aren't going to be watching their stuff on those nights because I'm like purposefully I'm trying.
Look at this, right? So you're thinking at first, oh, he doesn't want to stream at the same time as Kino because he doesn't want to like take their viewers. But now he's pretty much saying he wants to stream when they're not streaming to take their viewers. It's the same difference. It's just more sneaky. But of course, they can always go back to watch Kino Casino, whatever. But he's streaming every day on Kick. I mean, it kind of defeats the purpose, right? Like, this is really stupid. This is a really stupid thing he keeps bringing up. But, like, he streams every day on Kick. All the time. Come on.
Trying to schedule this show to not, backstab those guys. I don't want to step on their toes. They've done a lot for me, and I want to be sure that this show is not going to split the audience in any way. I mean, it's funny because some people are like, well, they're way bigger than you. You're not going to split the audience. You understand, I know that, but I still might. there might be a few people who want, dude, I want to see Phil's first show. Casino streams several times a week, the same kind of content. Phil's doing this for the first time. I want to see it. That could step
That
on their
just
toes. You might
happens.
have people come support.
Dude, that's like saying like, dude, you're streaming the same time as this other whatever,
me
whatever.
instead of
Okay.
them. I don't want that to happen. That's fucked up.
That's fucked up.
Right? I owe those guys a lot. So that's why I'm trying to do it in a way that it doesn't
Why do you
put it
suck?
on them. You know what I'm
Why do
saying?
you suck their dick then, Phil? If you owe them a lot,
Bookworm's correct. He
fly
said if
to
Phil had done an
Canada.
election night coverage stream like that, he would have made like $500 to $1,000. You're right.
He did an election.
I
stream,
would have. It would have been the
whatever.
same as like me doing one of these
Okay.
marathons. Look, the Halloween marathon, I made over $400 on the stream, and with the revenue from the ads and everything, I made around $500 that day. You know, any big marathon I do, I make a good amount. That's what I would have made if I did a politics stream. You know, but I wasn't there yet. Maybe now, you know what I'm saying? Now I can, if we're gonna cover
Yeah,
this
this
stuff.
dude was like definitely
and
scared
regularly
of
have
like
content about it, then I could
SJWs.
do
Like,
that kind of stuff.
If
right?
Kamala won, he probably would be scared that cancel culture would hunt him down and kill him. Like they're gonna break down his little pig pen and kill him. You said this? Okay, Phil, time to go to SJW jail.
Right?
This dude is wild. Phil, you broke the woke law.
Automata, I'm not
We're gonna
watching.
kill
Yeah,
you.
Automata had a premise, but I'm not going to do it. He says, what you should do is watch side scrollers and tackle every topic Craig tackles on his show.
Top
but do it from your
tackles?
perspective rather than his biased one and show that you can do it better. I'm not watching his show. There's
course.
absolutely 0% chance I would ever watch that fucking
0%.
fake ass grifter show. You know,
Fake ass grifter
I'm not
show.
an idiot. It's
you're
just
doing whatever,
incredibly preposterous
sure.
how dumb people are and get fooled by stuff.
You know, I
You know,
wonder
it's
if
just as
with
bad as
DEI
my
and
detractors getting
chins. Oh my
fooled
god, women have
and sending the
chins.
dude money. Now you got dumbass conservatives who believe that he's for real too. I mean, they're just so dumb and gullible.
Oh,
I-
man,
I'm not.
whatever.
I'm not even watching for a second. I'm not even gonna give him a second of attention. Okay.
Sure, buddy. Say that now. But then they're like, so apparently this is from the Science Scholars. Craig
Okay.
talks about the presidential election, and he said,
But here,
a lot
but
of
Double
stuff.
M. See again. Double M
again,
doesn't get it.
again. He
goes,
doesn't get
yeah,
it.
but let's say you take a few dozen viewers from them, right?
right.
It's not gonna hurt them, dude. The few dozen viewers that I take might be the supporters for that night, right?
Right.
Maybe there's people who like the political stuff.
Maybe they watch
And they're going to come and
both.
watch my show instead of Kino Casino that particular night. And now they decide, well, hey, it's Phil's first night doing politics. I'm going to drop him a sub bomb. And it could have gone to the casino. That, you know how fucked up that is?
But
In my opinion,
Phil,
anyway.
if Kino Casino makes a lot of money, then like he tells us every day, guys, you see these streamers that make a lot of money, and these people that watch them, they give them more money. They're already made, man. They're already set, and they give them more money. But now Kino Casino, well, they make a lot of money. Well, they I can't take any of that. Okay, man.
You know,
Suck
I
their
feel like
dick.
that would be messed up.
Fly
To
to
split the
Canada.
audiences doesn't make sense. Now, I'm not saying in the future I'm always going to have to be 100% sure to not stream the same time as them because that's impossible. If you guys don't know, Kino Casino streams random days. They don't actually do the same.
Oh, so the first stream you see the little game he's playing? See, the first stream that's not with Kino Casino, he's not gonna be taking the attention from the first stream. The others, hey, if that happens, it happens, man. It's not the first stream. That's the important one. Okay.
Same days every week. Like me, I'm pretty try to be consistent, but they're kind of all over the place depending on what's happening in news and stuff. Right now they're streaming, but likely by the end of the week they're gonna have days off. So that's why I'm doing it like that. So yeah, the way I see it,
Bad habits.
I'm not
Need
gonna
to kill
step
him.
on the toes of people who've been so gracious to me. You know, at least this first show.
Oh yeah.
Let's be
Kino
honest.
Casino was so
After the
gracious
first show,
by
it
giving
might
him
not
a
be
lot of money,
successful,
right?
and it drops off, and nobody
And
gives a
begging
shit.
for him.
Right? But I'm not for this first show. I'm gonna do the right thing, and I already ran it by them, and it looks like we're all good for Thursday night. So,
Yeah, I ran it by
Machito
him.
Swing has gifted a sub
Why does
over on Kick to the Community.
Then why doesn't he do the politics channel on the day stream then, right? Oh, because more people might be watching, and we can't do it when more people are watching, right? You know what I'm saying?
Congrats to
Whatever.
I guess TTD
TTD.
got it. Thank you.
Thank you. Uh-huh. Okay.
16-bit edition of this back,
Okay.
but I have all kinds of variations. eating shakaroni pizza from Papa John's, cheese, extra pepperoni. He says he just got back home from a convention and he's gonna go see. And he's did you see Venom or you?
Hi, Jade. How was Venom? We are.
Is the
Venom.
political show 7 p.m. Eastern or Pacific? Whenever I reference a time, it's Pacific because I'm on the West Coast. So 7 p.m. Pacific time, Thursday night.
Why doesn't he tell us what it is for the East Coast too? He used to do that, by the way. Then he stopped.
That's my politics show.
But
Okay.
okay. Why do that? When you could just wiggle your ears.
Lady Charisma. I've
Oh,
actually
yeah.
made a kick account for this, but I fear chat might lean too much to one side. I've seen stuff in chat over the years. I hope we're just trolls. Nothing on you. It's a fear I have. I have high hopes for a new project, and I'll try to.
Yeah, okay.
I
okay,
want
Lady Charisma.
diverse opinions.
He wants diverse opinions.
You
So-
disagree with.
So it's gonna be very curious to see how he's gonna handle people who may say like very, 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 very toxic shit, right? Like, how is he gonna handle that, guys? They're like, what if someone says, "Well, I think all Mexicans should be deported, rip them from their families or whatever the fuck." Like, what if they say some real fucked up shit, right? Is he gonna say,
Guys, this is opinions, man. Yeah, I respect your opinion, but can you like keep it like kosher?
or like, oh, dude, what if they talk about the Palestine-Israel conflict? Oh man, how's he gonna handle that one? Like, man, it's kind of rough, especially on the internet when you don't know who's watching. You know what I'm saying?
with me. Now you're my enemy, and now we're gonna have to be at each other's throats and shit. I'm not that kind of guy. And the whole point of the
Oh,
show, I feel, is
man.
to have open discussion about these topics.
But what if
Because I think a
what
lot
if
of
one person wants to take a right away and one person doesn't wants to protect that right? Like, okay,
shows, sadly,
let's not
tunnel vision,
think about
right?
the ramifications
It's just a yes
of a
chamber.
lot of these
It's like
things
everyone just
that
echo
politics
me
will
and what I
have.
have to say instead of, hey, here's what I think, but what do you think? And let's go back and forth and maybe open each other's eyes and perspectives a little bit more about stuff too, right? Like I have these 3 particular topics to talk about. Like I said, we're going to talk about the election.
Remember, he doesn't want to be a guru.
And
by
how the
way.
Democrats lost it. We're going to talk about this text message going around that's becoming political and front page news in places. And we're going to talk about actual.
I swear,
like,
if he's gonna sit there and talk about the fucking pendulum swinging, this dude's opinion on politics should be like thrown in the garbage and never to be seen again. Like, I'm sorry, you can't like take something that can affect people's lives and treat it with like such half-assed like, oh, it's the pendulum. Like, shut up, man.
cultural demands on charity. And I'm not explaining that because I want to tell you when we get to the story.
Cultural demands
So I
on
have 3
charity.
stories
Again,
to cover
what is
on
the
Thursday. I think that's enough for
context?
2 hours. Like I'd be shocked if we even cover all 3 stories fully, right? So, and then from there, I want your takes on it. And then, like I said, we're going to open it up so people can actually submit clips for next week's show.
Okay.
Seen Has Been Hotel. I think we watched the trailer for it once. Listening and then, basically not. Okay. My philosophy has always been, I just want everyone to be happy.
Wait,
Okay,
oh my god, what is this?
What if some opinions are considered radical? There are always going to be
What opinions does he consider radical? Okay, that's the question. What does he consider to be radical?
radical opinions. But it's about how you handle that,
So now it's how you handle it?
right? It's about listening and then, basically not. Okay. My philosophy has always been, I just want everyone to be happy. Okay. Everyone should be happy, but also if you're going to be happy, you can't step on everyone else's toes and make them unhappy. I feel there's a live and let live mentality out.
But like, what does that mean though? Like that's a very like loose mindset. Like I the thing that's kind of funny about that statement, you could take it as a liberal idea because it's like, oh, let people like, if they want to be transgender, if they feel that they're this gender, let them be that gender. But the thing is that also has the ramification of like, well, do you support them getting the medical treatment that allows them to do that? Like, what about if they feel that way when they're younger? What this and that? Like, no kid can just go to the hospital and just be like, okay, do this, and then that's it. There's a huge process into getting there. There's like therapy, consultation, all this stuff. Like, I do think that there should definitely be a lot of like paperwork before a kid can officially do it, and all this other stuff. Like they shouldn't just be allowed to just get it like immediately. And as far as I understand it, that's the case. Like they have to go through all this like process of getting consultation, getting having to talk to a lot of people, having the parents be involved, and all this other stuff. Like there's a lot of work to get there, and a lot of parents also deal with it as well. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. But does DSP even know about that process to begin with? To say that like this should happen or shouldn't happen? And then what's he gonna say if someone is totally against it and says that, well, this is awful because I think that this is mutilation or whatever? But it's like, well, does that person also know? Like, there's a lot of like stuff you have to think about, and DSP, I just don't believe he's gonna be able to handle that kind of scrutiny under that kind of situation.
Out there that can work if people would just fucking give it a chance instead of just
Give it
being
a
like,
chance.
well, since I don't agree with you, you're my hated enemy, and now we have to be at each other's throats, and it's all my side.
And like
and not
again, like the other aspect of it where it's like I'm gonna just use abortion access because that's at least something I know a little bit more about. Some say like, well, to ban it, it's like, well, they want to ban it because they see it as murder, but it's like, well, I want to hear this again so I can know
out there that can work if people would
trying to
just fucking
say.
give it a chance instead
Give
of
it a
just being
chance.
like, well, since I don't agree with you, you're my hate.
Okay, so why should I give a chance to ban abortion, right? Or to have a 6-week window, which a lot of doctors says it's not a lot of time for a woman to even know if she's pregnant or not to make that kind of decision. And I've seen like some say 20 weeks, etc. But let's say that a state or the president wants to ban it and get rid of all the exceptions for abortion and all this stuff and all of that, right? So I'm supposed to say, let's give that a chance? No, I don't want to give that a chance. I want people to have access to abortion because they may need it for whatever reason that goes on in their life. What if they're raped? What if it's incest? What if it's this? What if it's that? Like, they should always have access to something that they need within their state, within their right, and all this stuff. That should be protected all the time because you don't know what's going to happen in life. So why should we give a chance to get rid of that and see the issues that may come out of children born out of incest, children born out of rape, all this stuff? These are very extreme examples, you could argue, but at the same time, like, these are the kind of things that will come up into conversation when you see people on these two political sides. Like, this is like why it's not really possible. Now, if you want to say like, well, let's listen about it and all this stuff and have an open mind, that's mostly to like, look, I understand that people see abortion as this, but at the same time, there's a very practical use that people should also be more willing to accept. And I think the reasoning of 20 weeks of being allowed getting abortion should be allowed than like having it be too short of a window where it's like, the woman may not even know until it's too late. They each have access within the state, so they don't have to live thinking, oh, does my state have it legal? Oh man, it may not be legal tomorrow, and this and that. Like, these are things that happen. But okay, whatever.
Hated enemy, and now we have to be at each other's throats, and it's all my side and not your side. If you're not with me, you're against me. I hate that shit. So we're gonna see how it translates. I feel like we're talking too much about it because you're kind of. I don't want to spoil anything, right?
But he probably won't talk about that kind of stuff. But it'll be interesting to see when he does. Like, what does he think about having a conservative Supreme Court justice? Where's the balance in that? Shouldn't we get some liberals in there?
You want me to convert
Whatever.
the lefties in my state for the next election? Good luck.
Good
luck with that. This state is so far leaning to the left, to the blue. It's like impossible. Like,
Good.
there's people who legit think that like their lives are ending now because Trump has been reelected. It's like, wait a minute.
Again, like, this is like omitting a lot of stuff. Like, there's a whole like because at first I didn't know what people were talking about when it came to this kind of statements, but then I looked into it and saw what other people were saying about it. And I was like, okay, that does make a little bit more sense, because if you ban people's rights and you do all this other stuff that affects people negatively, they're like, if there is gonna be like more restrictions on abortion, it's gonna drive more women to do abortions on their own that may be unsanitary and unsafe and may lead to the mother dying in the process. Or if the state decides there's no exceptions and there's no abortions period, then if the mother's life's at stake and they can't abort the fetus, that's not viable. The mother's gonna die, and that's gonna be a loss of life. The other aspect that he ignores, which is very ironic coming from him, let's wear masks and get vaccines. The whole COVID thing happened in the Trump administration due to Trump's poor response to the pandemic and how slow and all this other stuff. You go to these clips, he complains about the government. He never once says Trump. It's the government, the government, the government. But who was the president there, Phil? And it's also worth noting during the first administration, the first term of Trump, he dismantled the I forgot the department's name, but it deals with pandemics, and it deals with like disease and that kind of thing. Like whatever system they had, he dismantled that because he saw that as a waste of resources. And then you saw what happened afterwards, and then we got the worldwide pandemic with COVID. Doesn't remember that at all. But yeah, it's so stupid that people say that their lives are ending, because he definitely and the other thing that's very funny about this, coming from the guy that says we should listen to both sides. Why doesn't he look more into why they're saying this? He sees people say that my life will end with the Trump administration. Why not look into why they're saying that? Do you know why they're saying that? Do you understand the concept as to why they may be a little bit concerned about what Trump may bring to the presidency or to the government with these changes that he wants to do? Come on.
You were alive during the last Trump presidency.
Not the people who died from COVID.
Was it the end of the world then? You know what I mean? These people are just they're out of control.
Pandemic happened during Trump, dude.
Come on,
but
man.
Okay, come on, man.
Anyway, that's going to be one of the. Wait till you see one of the stories we're covering about this text message going around. It's like, I can't wait. It's going to be a fun show.
Man, I really hope it's a silly text and not super racially charged.
No, I've never had walnut shrimp at Panda Express. I haven't had Panda Express in.
All right, we went to Panda Express right after that.
Because I have played. Tim says in 2028, convert all my detractors into attractors. No, I'm telling you, you have no idea how funny it is. So now, the detractors are falling apart at the seams and becoming the lol cows themselves. And they don't get it because they live in such a tunnel vision world of, hand holding around their own campfire, singing Kumbaya and circle jerking each other for the last 5 to 10 years.
You know what? You know what this dude says? Everyone should be happy. Everyone should be happy. And the way he describes is that we're all having a good time singing Kumbaya. And now he's taking joy out of apparently our lives being miserable. Because remember, he also said people who treat others like lolcows make people's lives miserable. And this and that. But when other people are being treated like lolcows, he is jumping up and down and jerking it over it. Man, this dude is so cool.
They've had it good. Now it's falling apart. They're being exposed for their unhinged nonsense that they do every day. I'm telling you, this fucking Twitter account is getting their goat so fucking bad. It's fucking hilarious. Did you know that at one point there was an 8-hour-long marathon podcast about my cat?
Oh my god, it's not a podcast.
And this thing's now being exposed, and people are saying, no, that's a lie.
How is that exposed? It's a video on YouTube. You can look it up. It's not like it was a hidden thing that no one knew about. Okay.
So then people will link the video, and they'll be like, what?
Whoa, what?
That's what I'm talking about. That's how crazy they are. They're unhinged losers. And they're, but they get more views than Phil. Well, first of all, wrong. All of your viewers are mine. Because if you didn't cover my content or watch me, no one would watch you. So literally every detractor viewer is a DSP viewer, not a detractor viewer. They're all my viewers, all right?
Okay.
Now, I don't make any money on them, but I make a good living regardless. So I don't give a fuck, right? So go fuck yourselves. But you're being exposed as the clowns that you all have been. Your clown show's been going on now for a long time, and now people are looking at it and laughing at you from the outside because guess what? You are the lolcows. You don't understand that your actions
Does he not know what a
now are
lolcow
based on
is?
people goading you.
Of course
Like when I
not.
goaded you into go supporting COG and you did because you're a bunch of fucking losers. and I
Again, this is assuming that everyone is like a hive mind, that all detractors operate the same. This dude can like fucking drink some glue.
showed how embarrassing you all are. Or this Twitter account now that's not me that you guys are accusing of being me. It's not me, but you can't handle it because you're such fucking losers.
I don't care.
You are the
I
ones
don't
being
care,
goaded
honestly.
into action
Honestly,
like
if it's him or not, I don't care. If it's him, that's not a good look for him because you know, a lot of reasons for that. And if it's not him, who cares, right? Who cares, man? Like this account is just going around doing nonsense, and people are not taking it seriously, like at all. They every time I see someone reply to it, I've just seen people say, "Wow, this guy's an idiot. Oh, you're so stupid. This dude is pathetic," and this and that. And it's like that's all I'm seeing about. And DSP's acting as if like we're all losing our shit. Dude, people call people stupid on the internet longer than time itself, man.
cows. Get it?
Get it?
You're the entertainment now. And I'm sitting back and laughing my ass off every single day at these losers. It's great.
It goes both ways, you know. I'm enjoying this now too. I'm enjoying your meltdown over it. You're the lolcow now because I'm enjoying it. But remember, guys, he doesn't have time for drama, but he enjoyed the drama of the trolls, right?
Troy did his Joker laugh. Whoa, that's actually Mark Hamill.
Wait, what?
He was the Joker only once, but I guess people liked that portrayal or whatever. But you know, I know him more as many various different characters over the years. Like he's been in tons of different franchises as various characters, right? Yeah, Joel, exactly.
Oh my god.
Joel.
Okay, Joel.
And he posts about it all the time. And he is so anti-Trump. I mean,
Oh boy.
it's true. Bookworm says, has anyone heard from Mark Hamill since the election? Yeah, Mark Hamill is like an ultra-leftist.
Man, imagine if you looked up the I think is either a writer or a producer of The Boys. I think it's a writer. That person's Twitter feed is far more extreme than Mark Hamill. That dude, man. I see why DSP hates The Boys. I can say that much. If you look at his Twitter,
And he
Bleh.
posts about it all the time. And he is so anti-Trump. I
Yeah,
mean,
how dare Mark
I love
Hamill
the
have
guy for
opinions?
his acting. I love him for his Joker.
So get this, right? DSP can have a politics channel, but Mark Hamill talking about politics, what an idiot, right? I mean, at least Mark Hamill, you know, just talked about politics, period, right? He talks about it whenever he wants.
Voice acting. But again, this is why I'm okay with separating the art from the artist, as they say. I think someone who's so extreme as him one political way, I would never agree with his extremist views on politics.
His extremist views: Trump is stupid. What an extreme view. Meanwhile, DSP has made fun of like Biden being old and like senile for who knows how long. But man, Mark Hamill making fun of Trump, that's extreme, man. Whoa, buddy.
But I like his work. I like his Joker. I think it's the best portrayal of Joker in animated or video games. And I like him as you know, Luke Skywalker. But I absolutely hate his politics, right? Like, I'm not going to get any
hates
bones
his
about it. I don't like the
politics.
extremist stuff.
He hates
So.
his politics, but he's a centrist, guys. Remember. Why? You know what? When people brought up the J.K. Rowling stuff, why didn't he say he hated her politics? He was like,
I don't talk about separate the art from the artist. Like, hey, people love Hogwarts Legacy. Okay, well, Hogwarts Legacy is a cool game.
but then, but Mark Hamill, he makes sure we know he hates his politics. So he doesn't hate J.K. Rowling's politics? Okay, very cool.
Yes, I'm telling you. Why do
Oh
you
my
think,
God, I'm telling you,
boy, people are so silly.
people
Why
are
do you
so
think
silly.
re-streamers
People are so
have
silly.
more viewers than the main core content? This is always the case. Almost
Always
always.
the case.
The toxic restreamer will have more
The toxic
audience than the original
restreamer.
person that they're streaming. because there's a
I
bunch of
don't-
toxic
I
idiots
don't-
who like to watch that shit.
I
They're
don't
all
have a lot of
deranged.
views.
They're
I get less
idiots.
views
There's,
than anyone
way more
else on the
dumb
on the
people on
website.
Earth than there are intelligent, positive people. There's more toxic, deranged, unhinged losers on planet Earth than there are intelligent, positive
Okay, this is cool to hear.
here. I'm the one with all the attention on me. I'm the one who gets to make a living doing
Okay, good
star.
for you.
He loses his monetization.
Oh boy, listen. To
I'm the
this.
one who gets the one up. And then when some moron oversteps, like Duty streams,
Dude,
and then he starts fucking around with people like Keemstar, he loses his monetization. I mean, that's what happens.
but he still makes videos, and DSP said,
If these people don't make money, they'll never make videos again.
and then Duty can't make money on his channel, and he's still making videos. But Phil, I thought that trolls, if they can't monetize the hate, they won't make videos. Why isn't he praising Duty for still making videos while being demonetized?
And the thing is, I don't have to lift a finger. You get it? I literally don't have to lift a finger for any of it. It's all happening around me and unwinding and unfolding. And all I'm doing, I'm making content I like, and I'm just sitting back and I'm laughing and enjoying the ride. Every moment of it. Every toxic idiot out there, right? So dumb.
So dumb. So dumb.
That's correct. And you're right. All of the people who illegally restream me because they're morons, right? And they want to have toxic shit. All those are my viewers. 1,000,000%. That's my viewership right there.
Okay, good for you. Good for you.
Restreamer is just the stupid asshole. He's like the redistributor of the content. But you're watching Phil. Deal with it. That's the truth. A day when I'm not
Okay.
here is a day that you're bored arguing with this fucking dummy account on
No,
Twitter that's
I
making
was
fun of
streaming
you. 'Cause
Persona
you're a bunch of
3
idiots.
Reload, dude. Don't
You
don't,
fall for it every time.
Don't bring
This
that
fantasy life.
up.
They don't understand how things have changed this year at all. You just don't get it anymore.
You just don't get it. It's not a phase.
There's like 3 I listen to and alternate my phone with my car radio, and I'll drive around listening to that. One of these toxic restreamers, think about how dumb they are. They're literally wasting all this time on nothing. Nothing's ever going to come of it. They're not making a living doing it. They're just losers.
Also, now we're not making a living doing it after you told us for years we made a living doing it. Oh, okay.
Stop watching them and come over to the real content and hang out with me. Everyone is welcome. There's been tons of people
I'm
who
not
said, hey,
welcome.
I used to be a detractor of yours. I watched all that toxic stuff, but I've come over and I've learned to kind of enjoy just being here and being a part of your legit community now.
Okay.
This on the podcast, Jade.
What did I miss, Jade? Nothing.
Oh
I
my
missed
God.
Nothing, Jade. Oh my God.
Videos for the final React show. Videos.
Okay, we're just gonna skip ahead a little bit.
She was playing it yesterday, and she put a building down. She's like,
Okay, now she's playing games because she. Remember when she didn't want the PS5? Now she's playing the PS5. Isn't that funny? All right, we're gonna watch this because we're gonna like see how he responds to liberal values, like 2 girls going to a bar and having a good time.
Feel the same way about me, and
He's
you need
loving
to know
it.
I'm
Look.
not just projecting.
Uh oh. Uh oh. Uh oh.
Kiss me.
These be
first.
scared. Uh oh.
oh, no. What is going on?
What's
It's so
going on,
bad.
man? I just love that like he thinks that there should be constant action and all this stuff. He doesn't understand that like this is like character moments and all this stuff. Like I just love that all of the criticism I've seen of Life is Strange deals with like the dialogue being like lame and cringe. Not so much that like oh they have gay couples or anything like that. It's always just like the dialogue is just kind of cringe. But like when it comes to like this is not the cringe part. It's just like the amazeballs kind of shit. Because these are just character moments that of course you're gonna have downtime in a story because it would just be kind of monotonous to just have back to back to back like guys this constant action. Like this is just downtime, a breather of a thing because these are people at the end of the day. Of course they're gonna like feel one way or the other about someone. And that's why it's like a choose your own adventure. And this dude gets so mad that the game offers romance as an option. But it's like it adds like some kind of flavor to the character because no human is platonic. Like of course there's gonna be relationships in any story.
The game was the plot was good, and I was like, it's all fine up to now. And then this entire segment of over a half an hour, I feel like I want to jump off a cliff.
Yeah, because
right?
why would Max want to have
Like,
fun?
why
She should just
the
be
fuck
constantly
did they do
in
this?
danger, right? Why does she want to go to a bar? She's like, what, 20? 21?
I always
No,
wanted
oh,
to play
20. Like, what,
a
25?
bisexual liberal woman simulator.
Oh my god, this is fucking goofy fucking shit, man.
I always wanted to.
By the way, keep in mind he told us that, well, Dragon Age Veilguard is really stupid because, like, you're expecting dragons, and they give you, like, how to apologize to someone's pronouns. Huh? But this game, Life is Strange, you could expect it. You could expect that it will have liberal memes. Sees, like, two, like, lesbians, because apparently only liberals are lesbians. Only liberals. If you're a lesbian and you happen to be conservative, you're not. You're a liberal. Shut up. It's random. Why would you expect that in Life is Strange? Guys, lesbians, bars, romance, all are liberal constructs. Guys, if you think your parents fall in love with some kind of, like, loving romantic thing, wrong. Liberal propaganda. Your parents are liberals. I hate to break it to you. Surprise, surprise. You're all liberals. Everyone's a liberal deep down. If you go to a bar and you have a good time, liberal shit.
To play
Cheers, woke. Takes place in a bar, woke.
a bisexual liberal woman simulator, right?
Bisexual liberal woman simulator. Dude, you're playing Life is Strange. There's just gonna be romance. There's romance in so many games he plays that he doesn't give a fuck about. My god, dude. Like a Dragon has a whole thing about Kasuga trying to get with Psycho. Psycho? Whatever. Go to the character, one of my favorite characters in the game. Has a whole segment about that.
Oh, wow, man. He's so stupid, man. Wow, man.
I mean, I guess he did kind of cringe at it at first, but he didn't, like, say,
Oh my god! Guys, they're talking about loving each other. What the fuck? I just want to go back and beat people up, man.
but here he's, like, freaking out that these two characters are having a romantic moment. Okay.
I wasn't interested in the plot of like the murder mystery or all.
But what if you're interested in the characters? You know, the parts of the story that move the story. When you want to know, does Max like this character? I like the chemistry between them, or whatever. A lot of this stuff is stuff that's like world building. Does he not understand? Like that's like the point of having these kind of segments. Okay.
Stuff going on. I wanted to do this instead. This is so much more fun than the entire 10 hours of murder mystery that we've had up to this point.
dude is
correct?
so fucking
like this is. I'm
weird.
so glad that this is in the game.
Like
So
he could just be like,
Okay, I'm gonna pull away, man.
then pulls away, then like moves on with his life. But no, he has to like freak out that a game, Life is Strange, just happens to have liberal values, I guess, or just has lesbians in the game because apparently, like it goes back to what I said. Like, what is wrong with this? Like, I have not followed along the stream, so I don't know the context. Like, I'm assuming this isn't out of the blue because I just remember like some bits here and there that these two freaked out that these two were like had some kind of thing going on. So it's like, okay, so then they're gonna like have this kind of scene. But why is it like he's more like when it's like a heterosexual couple, he's like not super annoying like this. He's like, oh, this is dumb. Oh, this is like, whatever. But when it's this, he's like, he freaks out and says it's liberal propaganda. Like, dude, these are just characters and they can kiss. Like, dude, it's not that deep.
Shitty as shit. It really is. They fucked it up.
They
Like
fucked
the
it
game
up.
actually was good, and this whole segment is awful. This entire bar segment could have been completely taken out of the game, and it would have been better for it. But what it is they want to put their fantasies into the game,
They're fantasies. This is a fantasy, by the way. Dude, you're playing a game that it tells a story, and part of the way that you get the viewer or the player invested in the story is by making characters be more than just like plot devices. And that's what this is. They're real people. Well, real people in the sense that like they're video game characters. But for them to be seen as real people, they have to have romance and they have to like have these kind of scenes to give people the power to say, yeah, they should kiss. No, they're like friends or whatever. Like that's why they have these options. And this dude gets these options and he's like, oh my god, I can't look. This is like fantasies. Like, dude, these are just, it's a character moment. They're at a bar. They're not allowed to have fun in a story. It's this constant life and death struggles all the time. Like, come on, man.
It's like, yeah, but did you ask anyone if that would help a plot? Like, there's people who want to play this who don't want to be living the dream.
This is so fucking, like, stupid to listen to. Did you ask anyone that they want this? They give you the option to pull away. Like, you can just move on. But this dude is staring at this and getting worked up over it. And then says that the developers should have asked people. Again, why did he like, he didn't say this kind of shit with Like a Dragon. Did he say Ryogo Gakugo should have asked people if they wanted Ichiban to fall in love with Saiko? Why didn't he ask anyone? Why didn't he react the same way with that? Why is this, of all things, where the developers should have asked, and they should have thought about this, instead of pushing liberal agendas of two girls going on a date?
Of a simulation of being a bisexual woman at a liberal university.
Again, he said that you can expect this from Life is Strange. He plays it. What, it has this? What the fuck? They should have asked. DSP, you told us to expect this in the game. It's in the game. And he's like, this is freaking him out. And again, I just also want to highlight, unlike Life is Strange 2, supposedly, this isn't like shaming America, saying Americans are all racist and evil people, even though like Life is Strange 2 like surrounds the main characters with the antagonists who are racist people. Not, they didn't say all Americans are this, he just said these people are that. Whatever, right? But this game is just having a romantic scene between two characters, and this dude is like, they need to ask me if they wanted this. But it's like, they don't need to. It's a part in the game that they wrote so that people can decide if they want this, and that if that's Max's character, that she's bisexual, of course he's gonna attract another bisexual or a lesbian or whatever, right? Come on.
You know what I mean? Like, I just want the story. Can I get? Why couldn't I skip this chapter? Instead, I gotta waste my fucking time on your bullshit writing. It's bad. It's fucking bad.
Because it's part of the character.
No, fuck you. How about that?
I'm really sorry, Amanda.
Good.
I
Good.
don't think I can.
I like how like annoying he is about this.
Take
like,
that
he just
shit.
I like
doesn't
you
care about
a
anything.
lot.
He cares about the story, but again, he only cares about the story in the sense of like superficial things, like superpowers, mystery, clap your hands. Like, that's it. That's all he cares about. Not the characters, not the world they're in, or anything. Like, dude, I just got the E ending in Nier Replicant, and I went more into like, I want to know like the meaning of that ending. Like, what's the significance of ending E? What, like, does it have any strong connection to Automata? Is there a significance with that? Like, why did it have Automata like stuff at the end? Like, what is the point of this? And all these things were things that were like racing in my head. Meanwhile, this dude would probably say like, okay, like, wow, this is so weird, and then leave it at that. Like, okay, man.
But my life is in shambles right now. And it wouldn't be fair to bring you into it. Fuck. You're right. Even though I wish you weren't. Maybe another time we can make this work.
No. It's goodbye forever.
Yeah.
You're banned from the bar.
No, it would only work
Another
if
time.
DSP is not playing the game, because DSP is opposed to this lifestyle.
Well,
You had to be solving crimes all the time, Max.
I should
Come
get
on.
back to
Yeah,
it.
meanwhile, the entire clientele of the bar has gone up and
Thank you.
completely drank the bar dry while she
For
was over here.
everything.
I all stole everything.
I feel.
I mean, let's be honest. This is,
Let's
again,
be honest.
I tell you guys, I live in one of the most liberal states in the country. Theft is common. Like,
Oh,
you just do whatever
man.
you want. No one stops you. Like, seriously, if
Again, I want him to cite sources now, because, like, whatever, okay.
she walked away from the
Listen
bar,
to this.
they would have jumped that fucking bar and stole all the liquor and ran right out the door. At least from my experience.
His experience. The dude who never went to a bar is telling you his experience at a bar he never went to. I'm really gonna trust what DSP says about politics, right? Guys, this is a liberal state. My experience, they steal stuff at bars. Dude, you never went to a bar. Shut up.
And it's not me like making fun of it. I'm serious. Like, that's how it is here. People have took the inch and then took the mile and then took the fucking half the planet.
Yeah, sure
You know?
they did.
So, yeah.
Slightly less.
if that's the
than
case, then
nice.
they should be storming the pig pen.
My dumbass
like,
would do
come
it
on,
again
man.
too.
And it's so bad, whatever, okay. Biden suppressing the news, obviously. You just don't get it. Biden has that kind of power.
Yeesh.
Yeesh.
Can we get back to the plot now?
I
Like,
don't want
really,
to be
this had no
alone.
part of any of the game
And
right
I'm
now.
not sure
No
there's
part.
anyone else to talk to.
Leave the bar in Living World. This is Living World, all right?
Right? Right?
You tell by the way my clothes don't match, I'm a renegade in Living World, but that's not.
Okay.
Excuse me. This way, front door.
Oh
There
my
we go,
god,
front.
rainbow flags! Oh my god,
Where's
I
your
can't
coat?
believe it. I can't believe there's rainbow flags in this game. This is,
That was awful. I'm sorry, guys. You know.
I'm sorry,
What did
guys.
I say earlier in the playthrough? I said if they do it tastefully.
how is that not tastefully? You're at a bar with, okay. Well, then again, these people would definitely know because you don't need to cat to a bar, right?
And they don't shove it down your throat. And if you're allowed to just enjoy the characters for who they are, I'd be fine with it. But instead, they had to do that segment and waste every.
How can you? But who they are is they were dating. That's who they are. They were like getting like into it, and he's like,
Oh my god, it's liberal propaganda.
okay,
time,
hell?
right?
right, correct.
All right. So someone broke into her place.
All right, that is it. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching. It was semi-political. It was some. I'm gonna play the political alarm, guys. There you go. That's gonna be the political alarm. I'll try to remember it. Next time I go political, you're gonna hear shit like this, and it's gonna be like, what the fuck? Oh shit, Theo's going off. But thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. It was a fun one, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye. Wait. Damn it. Bye.